Now we're trying to get back to break even on the morning. Pretty flat to start overall, ahead of big earnings to come. Netflix after the close tonight. We'll get Tesla after the close tomorrow night. We are just getting Canadian inflation data coming through, 2.4% year over year in September. On this side of the border, the estimate 2.2%. So a slight uptick there for Canadian inflation. Obviously no U.S. data to deal with once again today because of the ongoing government shutdown. There was some hints at which there was some progress being made late in the day yesterday, saying essentially towards the end of the week, they're hopefully going to get something done as far as a deal and get things back up operating again. That's how the Nasdaq's looking right now. Little as far as price action goes so far this morning. Big move up past 2 days here for the overall market. A couple things to note here this morning. We get Coke, as I mentioned, we get Nasdaq, RTX in focus here, Tesla in focus here. We're finally back into some exciting times for earnings.
It is, Brendo. We're in the heart of earnings season, as you mentioned. GM also doing really well here, guys, to start the morning. And shout out to the Blue Jays, hence the blue. I don't usually come dressed down like this, Brendo, but we had to make a special exception here for the Blue Jays going to the World Series. Sorry, Mariners, you'll have to wait for your shot.
2 years. That's good.
Yeah,
32 years.
But it's better than the Mariners, who've never been,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
No, seriously though, guys, in a GM, really good report over here, beating easily by about $3 billion in revenue, and that's not really the end of it. They're lowering how much the tariff effect is going to have on their revenue by about $1 billion, $1.5 billion. So really good there. Amazon obviously in focus as well after that big outage yesterday. Brendo, GE, Triple M, all in focus as well as they reported.
Yeah, I was reading a funny note last night from an analyst, essentially trying to make the argument that this outage, and I mean, look at the price action from yesterday, but he was essentially saying that this was actually a positive for Amazon, not a negative. Okay. In the sense that it just highlights the dependency on their services and, and AWS in general. Yeah. So yeah, big day yesterday here for Amazon. We're upside once again here in the pre-market. Good morning, guys.
Yeah, Randy's in the house. We'll take it. Appreciate it, brother.
Springer.
Yep. Single greatest sporting event I've ever been to in my life. I'm more than a little tired. My voice is a little bit insane. It was, to say that dude rocked the house, it was absolutely unbelievable. So, you know, I'm gonna be in a good mood. You know what? Like, it's the reason that I love experiences like sports, and to me, like going to a game like that is the best. Like instantaneously, you just got like straight, like you have grown men crying and strangers hugging each other, straight up, because everyone's all in the same thing. It was unbelievable. But
yeah, great game.
Like, I don't know what to say. Like now we get Ohtani on Friday, so and the Dodgers. I mean, them too. It'll be a battle, and I'm not one of those.
It'll be a good game.
I'm not one of those haters. There's a lot of people like, oh yeah, suck it, Seattle or whatnot. Dude, the Seattle Mariners were unbelievable and had a ridiculous season. That's a ridiculous team. And if we lost to them, I'd have been cheering them on in the World Series 100%. Mad respect for that team. Like those guys are gamers. Like that's Cal Raleigh was a beast. Like that was a great team.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just glad we made it.
Yeah, so glad that we wound up winning that. I had a couple of my cousins were there. It wasn't actually. You could have got, it was actually pretty good, cheap, like price-wise. You could have got there like to sit up top for $300. I thought that was pretty good.
The 500.
World Series are going to be obviously a lot more expensive.
It'd be stupid.
They're going for sale here at 10 o'clock. But I noticed the resale market was okay, but I think for the World Series it's going to be real bad.
Well, and it just depends on where you are. Because the resale, for what we had, the resale market was nuts.
Yeah. Well, you can get probably double or triple.
Anyone that's trying to, it's triple easy. Yeah. Easily, but it depends. If you're the best bet, if you're trying to get a reasonable, if you do a single, not too bad.
Oh, a single.
If you the second you're going for 2 or 4, forget about it. But if you're getting a single, it's not that bad.
General admission to walk around yesterday was like $250 or so, and then to sit up top, you know, like first 10 or so rows was about $300. But yeah, great game. Obviously, lots of hype there. I was gonna bring Gia, but then Marissa's like, nah. She wants to go to hockey, so I was like, okay. But hopefully we'll be able to go. We have hockey on Friday night, but we're going to try to go there Saturday for game 2. And then, like you said, it's the next Friday and Saturday after that.
So perfect.
So it's just.
Although it's Halloween.
Oh, it's Halloween one of the days?
Friday, the game 6 is on Halloween night.
Maybe they'll change that.
Yeah. It's a weird one.
That's not good.
It's the kind of thing that only matters if you have kids that are of the age.
That's game 6 though?
Game 6. But game 6 it's only ever a huge game. If you play game 6,
right,
it's
what happened
it's do or die or a clinching game one way or another. GM clinched it this morning, by the way. Who had GM up 11% today in their pool? Nobody.
I mean,
No, it's been a great chart. No, GM's been a great chart. It's been doing really well, but there's just no chance. I don't think anybody was that excited. You might have had. I think a lot of people had Beyond Meat doing crazy today. But
yeah, I mean, I called this one last night
GM.
at this time. I said Beyond Meat tomorrow probably continues this move. We've seen it with LAC. We've seen it with a lot of things. So shout out to Mr. Westermeyer in the chat and everybody that sort of heeded a little bit of advice there with Beyond Meat, but you had to have, good. What's of steel, because it was already up nicely yesterday. So no blaming taking profit there yesterday by anybody, but all the way up to 250, 200 period moving average up here at $3. We'll see if it can break through this 250 marker right now and get a little bit higher, but congratulations to anybody with Beyond Meat right there today. But yeah, nice little move to the upside right here again for many names, and the market flat on a day like today. We'll take it. A nice run yesterday that I don't think we expected. So, but yeah, nice move there today for
Silver's volatile today.
Yeah, someone was saying check out gold. Oh,
Silver's down 6 points.
Okay.
And I don't think gold's not. Yeah, I mean silver tends to move probably to the downside a little bit more. Like gold down 3.7%. So you got gold and silver to the downside, market flat. GM up. Well, obviously the squeeze.
Gold down how much?
3%? 3.5. But silver the last few days has been a bit of a bigger mover on a percentage basis. But lots to cover. I do believe we have. I think we got Mitch. Today it's Tuesday. I kept forgetting what day it was.
Definitely Tuesday.
It's definitely a Tuesday. So we should have Mitch coming on through. Let's get up back to the desk.
All right, we're just looking at Netflix here. Back to the upside here briefly this morning. Comes down there at 8:30. What is that, 12:48, I guess. Just an absolute monster yesterday ahead of earnings to come after the close tonight. I mean, after they stopped talking about user data and members specifically and premium members specifically, it's been a little bit of a challenge. But for the most part, this thing's had a challenging couple of weeks, I think, as far as stock price goes anyways, but good to see the rebound yesterday.
Yeah, well, they were, obviously Elon Musk took to X to kind of attack them and some of the shows that they had there for children, and then there was a bit of a sell-off there. Looks like it's recovering a little bit. But here's what I've got here prepared for Netflix, guys. They've beaten consensus in each of the last 4 quarters with an average surprise of plus 6%. There you go. Price reaction typically is about 8.5 to 11% higher within a day. Last time though, it dropped 5.1%. Brendo, the implied move this time around plus or minus 6.9. And here are the trading narratives. Right now, we're looking for ad tier traction. They make more money from the ad tiers because the more you watch, the more they get paid. Whereas if you're in the unlimited plan, it doesn't matter how much you watch. You're just paying that 1 monthly tariff. And they're looking as well, Brendo, for a new content slate cadence and margin expansion. They're talking about whether or not they're going to release their average revenue per user, or another metric that we keep an eye on. So a good look. Not at all-time highs, but close.
Getting there, yeah. It's an interesting time. I think we talked about the Apple and F1 tie-up going back to last week. So as these tech companies, traditional tech companies, get more and more into the live side of streaming as well, more opportunities for a company like Netflix.
And just think about like yourself. You're a Fox, you're a TNT, and you're a classic media company, and now you're having to compete with these tech companies who have hundreds of $1 billion on their balance sheet. It just doesn't bode well for them, Brendo, going into the future.
Yep. Netflix, the headliner tonight. We also get TXN, Texas Instruments. We get Mattel, to name a few. Some in the banking side of things as well. Chubb, East West Bancorp. I mean, the list goes on and on. But Netflix, the headliner, definitely, guys, coming up after the close tonight, and TXN too.
Yeah, I mean, look, Netflix is big. TXN is not a nothing stock.
No, it's a great one.
I feel like it's one of those, with a top 10 semi name by market cap that probably, if you did a rundown of the top 10 semiconductor names by market cap, TXN is probably the one that gets, not probably, it is the one that gets at least on the show by probably a really large margin. So maybe And I don't think we ever really traded either. But Netflix, and then I'll say all that, and then I'm looking at Netflix here for their earnings aftermarket. Look, Netflix has already been on a rocket. This is a monthly chart for Netflix, just to give you an idea. Like this in 2022, if you're buying that dip, thank you to selling Disney to buy Netflix, which, like from there, it has been 6x. I feel like it's in a consolidation that I'm skeptical. Like how much it can break out locally, and I'll show the daily chart at some point, but I think on like a monthly time frame, I think it ends up hanging somewhat in this range that it's been in, like 11.5 to those highs. When you look at the actual perspective of it, after the pullback, all it's done is consolidate. Like it had a huge pullback on the monthly, and then we just get a long consolidation that we're still sitting in. So I think you have a chance here. And ultimately, the ad tier numbers have been pretty good. So they won with K-pop Demon Hunters. I feel like they get one of those a year, and they'll be great. They got, I know Stranger Things coming back. You got the live sports aspect. I'm just a little skeptical that I don't see this running through all-time highs on the earnings. When I take a step back, look at where the market is, and look at where it's sitting on that monthly chart, I just don't think the earnings move is something that gets it through. I think it can be positive. I just don't think it gets through the all-time high.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see some, other stocks like a Disney down here at 110, see if that helps, if Netflix can put up a decent streaming number. So there are, other plays here that might be, able to look at. Disney's obviously had a nice little run there, but you're coming off into that 110, which has been supported. So I just wanted to see, like, if this is another name here. This is not a name that I'm looking to jump into or anything like that. Obviously, we sold some SMR up there up the top, and SMR back down again here today. So I was thinking about, like, just making out of the blue. We sold it at 57. It's down to 41 right now, so we could make like a quick 25-30% and get back into this name alone. So I was thinking, something like this, and we already called SMR back into like this 34, 36 area. So we'll give this a little bit of time as well. But yeah, excited for Netflix tonight. I think the number is going to be big. Like I was saying, I think that WWE and just sort of all the live events, and the more talk they have about live, I think the more excited shareholders are going to get. And then they had that opportunity there with Spotify and the podcasts and whatnot. So, putting on their podcasts onto the Netflix streaming system as well. So taking a little bit of a run at YouTube there and that kind of a model. So we already know how well it's working out for YouTube. And obviously Alphabet's been skyrocketing on that performance. And so, yeah, I think Netflix is a beat here today for sure. And I would not want to go short into it, but I mean, it's, I guess it's going over the summer. I don't know. They get lots of people watching Netflix. I don't know. They're just, I'm there for the live and for the podcast and for Spotify and for future guides. So we'll see if that can win. And then, I don't know. I haven't looked at Texas Instruments, like Neil was saying. It's like a name that we don't really look at too often here. So I don't even really know what it's been doing. But yeah, okay, well, it's been doing that. So
that's not good.
Not great there for TXN. So I'm going to have to figure out exactly what their business is and what's going on there, because it's at not a bad level as well. Get that garbage out of here from April. So this could be, I mean, there's not too many names that are underneath the 200 period moving average that you may like. So this may be one right now at Texas Instruments. Yeah, some good ones. ISRG 2 reports, I believe, Intuitive Surgical. So this is a big AI robotics name, for healthcare and surgeries and whatnot. And this has obviously had a dip down as well, just kicking it off right here. And again, like, look at this. You drop right into support again. Like, I don't even look at this name, and it came right into here and then wants to bounce off. So ISRG as well. Should be a good one. From what we're thinking about. But yeah, 844. I'm working on some notes and names here for the sticky note. The problem is the market's very flat today, up zeros right now. So a little bit of nothing in the morning and dropped down, made it halfway back, and that's halfway is exactly zero. So not much going on here. ES, kind of a similar look, almost exactly the same for the ES right now. So we'll see if we are caught sort of in no man's land. This is the Q's chart now on the 30 minutes. So we are very, very close to breaking again the all-time highs. So I think that's what we're going to probably look at here today. The Nasdaq can get going, busting through here, trade the TQs or something if we can get a break of all-time high here on the Nasdaq. So, that's moments away, and I think we can get to that, especially if these earnings are good tomorrow. Amazon on a nice move up. Someone just saying there in the chat, let's go Amazon, I guess. So, yeah,
Oh,
Amazon,
that's Joe.
nicely done. Oh, it's Joe.
It's Joe.
Yeah, Joe was excited about that. Amazon was the one, big one that came down into its 200 period.
Oh, well, also the earning.
So
it was also the
have,
earning support level too.
Yeah, so you did have a
Double
good
barrel.
once it. There it is. So again, into it. Yeah, I still think the support is lower on Amazon. Like I still think 200 to 205. If the market slips up, this is where I'm already so long Amazon, but this is where I'm looking. So between 200 and 205. But yeah, I hope it doesn't get there actually. But that's what I'm doing. So all right, we can go back over to the desk.
Only one thing red on that little board that we got up there.
Yeah, crypto. What is?
It's just Bitcoin.
Is that right? 1093. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bitcoin down 1%. Yeah, but that's not right. The markets aren't right.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, as I've already said.
The only thing that wasn't strong yesterday was, well, I mean, there's always kernels that are not strong, but like Bitcoin and ETH, specifically ETH, Ethereum was actually quite weak yesterday. So it wasn't like an everything is all good rally. Lots of things made all-time highs, but specifically crypto wasn't looking too good.
Yeah. All right, let's go back over the desk and see if we do have our guest.
Right, real quick, HOLX, which is Hologic, halted currently. This was after the close yesterday, but just confirming here. $79 per share, going to be acquired by Blackstone. And TPG for HOLX just coming through. So that's probably going to resume here fairly shortly, but still halted for that one. Let's bring in Mitch Hull, analyst over at Trade the Pool. Get some action for today. Mitch, good to see you. Lots to
Shout out to the Jays,
right?
Man. Hold on.
Look at this guy coming prepared. I like it. Lots to discuss here ahead of big time earnings tonight. Just real quick on Netflix, Tesla tomorrow. Thoughts here going into these reports?
Well, of course, going into these reports, I think, you're not going to see anything surprising. They're not selling too many cars, and they're still figuring out ways to get the price higher, right? I think that's what you got to be looking at now. It's all about, of course, now we get into more the robotics age, right? So I think if you're looking, at like a Tesla, well, I wouldn't see it stopping anytime soon, right? But we do got to be careful in the streets, guys, because I do see euphoria starting to slow down, and it's common, right? We're getting near the end of the year, right? Everyone's starting to take a look at their portfolios, noticing how big and how great of a year there was. And I was just recently at the Money Show, and I can tell you guys, people were walking around with smiles, big smiles, and that tells me a lot out there, right? The profits keep climbing. So what you got to look for is just more mentions of when do we get this exact timeline on this robotics? What's the next step? And of course, look for Elon comments, especially if you're looking for more to come out of it. Elon is now focused, and like I always talk about, he's only a man that needs a goal. If he doesn't have a goal, no purpose in life, right? Well, you guys saw when he was a part of Doge, he went after something, right? That's what he needs. So I think in this case, he's going to go ahead and give the shareholders what they've been looking and yelling for 2 years. I even saw shareholders that were big time, like Gerber from California. He cut a big position because he didn't like Elon's political talk. Well, guess what? Elon's no longer political and ready to take him higher.
And has the goal in this new compensation package as well.
That's what it is. It's not so much about the money. It's just about something that's difficult for Elon. That's what he needs. He needs something that's difficult, that's hard to reach. He's that type of person. If he doesn't have it, then he just feels like life is worthless.
All right, let's get into a few ideas here. I see at the bottom of your list here this morning, you have BYND on watch here this morning. Just an absolute monster yesterday. That was a quick double overnight. What are you thinking here today?
Fake meets fake profits, but it doesn't matter. We're going to continue looking in here to see if this can continue to climb. Of course, this has like over 40% short interest, so the memesters are going to come out here and attack this. And what they did was just push back the line, right? I know a lot of people were thinking, well, wasn't this bankrupt? It's not necessarily bankrupt, but it's pretty close. It's at the point where what they did was they just pushed back a debt exchange all the way back to to 2030, trying to give themselves a little bit more roadway. Can they find their way out of here? Well, I don't think they're going to find their way out of here, but can we see this continue to rise? Yeah, there's no reason why this has to stop right here. Of course, who wants to come in short Beyond Meat here? Not many. So with that being said, you're going to see those shorts that were remaining starting to ease out, buyers stepping in. So of course it causes its effect, short squeezes on. Hey, watch for the run to continue.
We had all kinds of action in that one yesterday. One of the themes we were discussing around here yesterday was healthcare. From the perspective of it's been a little bit quiet, a little bit in the backseat, obviously with tech leading the way once again this year as far as the overall market goes. You have an interesting name on here. Tempus AI was downside early on this morning. What are you thinking here for TEM?
Yeah, you know, there was two names that I've been giving you guys in healthcare, and you guys can rewind the tape. I'm always about that, right? You guys have the receipts out there. There's two names. I said Tempus AI and Grail, right? Because these were the AI hyped healthcare names, right? These were the first names that I needed to see move to even think healthcare. Now you've clearly seen Tempest strong, but of course, the leader right now being Grail. Grail's just not stopping. I mean, we brought up that stock at 35. It's up over 182% since I first brought it up here. There's a reason why I call it the Holy Grail. And you got to continue to look for now the healthcare AI movement. And this is just going to slide down. And Trump really put the gas pedal on by, you know, starting to bring up names like Pfizer and different actions there. But you've seen it. The healthcare has been a quick turnaround. It went from being a hated Trump sector to now starting to be a love Trump sector. And this quickly turns the fundamental outlook and then starts to cause technical breakouts. Now you're starting to see technical breakouts going to move around the space. It's not just going to be Tempest, but of course Tempest is an early AI-driven clinical decision support. So it uses AI to kind of decide clinical decisions. And I think there's plenty of companies that are very similar. So now you start to look down the line. You can look at a quality name like a GEHC, GE Healthcare. This has been consolidating for 4 months. A breakout above 80 could unleash a nice major leg higher. Of course, this leverages Edison AI platform in imaging and diagnostics. Then a smaller one. You guys know I like to bring you quality and speculative. Speculative play here, but a retail favorite, RXRX, Recursion Pharma. And this has been building a beautiful cup and handle pattern, has nice range between 6 and 7, and now looking to see this start to push. This has machine learning driven drug discovery play, and volume spikes suggest that there's accumulation here and starting to go higher. So this is a really great one. I'm actually gonna be looking to trade this one today. And then I'd look at GEHC as kind of more of your swing play.
All right, lots of focus over, I mean, mostly last week, going into the start of this week on cybersecurity once again. I mean, you had a few names on here, the usual suspects, PANW, looking pretty good yesterday, even the past couple of days. The group itself, though, I mean, the volume hasn't been the greatest, but still positive with the overall market move.
Yeah, I think this has more to do with just the thought of the long run, right? Well, if we're going more into this AI space, there's going to be more and more things that cybersecurity has to decipher, right? So I think these companies continue to get appreciation just because we all are going to need further and further cybersecurity as AI develops, right? If anything, AI is going to be the one that's cracking a lot of this cybersecurity, so they need to get better and better. So they're using AI themselves to improve their code, right, and take that to the next level. So I think you watch these stair step higher. There's some that will go faster, right? PANW is just a stair step higher, but you could look at like maybe a ZS, right? That has a constructive cup and handle that needs to break the 310. That could go starting towards the 320 area. So that's ZS. And then you also got SNOW, which is kind of developing here with a tight bull flag. I like SNOW also. So both of these, I think, will look really good on the daily. We can start to take a look to see that cybersecurity continues here. And overall, I'm looking for software to get a little bit more perky this time. For a little while there, it started to spike, but then it kind of took a little bit of a back seat. And there's other software space to look into also. As one that I just been like kind of caught the daily chart, and it's a little bit off of the cybersecurity names, but CRM. I think it's time to finally start seeing some of these software names really lift. So look into the software application space, and that's what I do a lot of the times. I'm just going into the industry. Of course, software application does have cybersecurity and Salesforce. That's why I'm tying it together here. But I think this is really just the beginning of Salesforce's move. So I want to get you guys on your radar, right?
All right, SoFi, the last one here on your list, couple of days in a row here, straight to the upside once again. Looking like it might want to go, is it red to green? Yeah, I think it did. I actually already go red to green here.
There's a reason why I called it the Palantir, man. And I still, to this day, man, I'm mad at myself because I should have had this one in the long-term account. I know I got a couple of friends that have it at the 16 when we first brought it here. But SoFi, it just no signs of stopping. Retail, institutional participation. There's nothing here that should be slowing down SoFi. And I think that you're going to continue to see SoFi kill it. Right now, just stay with the momentum. And SoFi hasn't broken the momentum. There are some names that are breaking. But for right now, I think SoFi is just one of those that just keeps stepping higher. If I had this one at 16, I would be riding maybe like a 50 EMA and giving myself a little bit of room. But we'll just continue riding the trend. The trend's your friend until it isn't.
When we get to the open this morning, give me your top 2 or 3 here you're looking at.
So RXRX will definitely be on that list, right? I think that's just the perfect one for the space right now. I think that one can really get the push above 7 and really start to break out. So that's going to be one of my top plays right out the gates. Another thing that I'm looking at, and dare I say this, man, is Cathie Woods finally going to have her day in the sun? Because we've known that Cathie has been a far hated name. For a long time, I used to call her the Omen when she had one of my stocks, because if I saw that she had one of my stocks, I tried to run the other way. But at this point, I think she's actually starting to win. And if you look at the ARKK, if you look at ARKG, and these are actually starting to go somewhere now. I think that we might be looking back in maybe a year from now, or maybe 6 months. Could ARKK get back to the top? That would be a surprise. And so what did that mean? That means genomics going to the moon. That means Tesla going to the moon, right? So keep your eyes on all these genomics plays, because if Cathie's going to keep going, it's going to be because of these. So 3 plays to kind of watch in that space. Path. I would definitely watch Path. That's one of the names that I watch there. That can definitely get going. You got CRISPR. CRISPR looks great. If this gets above 75, this is a known institutional play where they've already gotten a good exposure to it. It now just needs the momentum and what we always talk about, stories. So story comes with catalyst and starts to get more and more mentions. There's BEAM, BEAM. That one just broke out yesterday. Big run, but now I'm looking for 9 EMA pullbacks. Genomics is here, guys. And it's time to start seeing AI play into genomics and start to see a big healthcare rally.
Great move off that low, going back to April 130.
And I know the guys in the studio, they heard me talk about genomics, and that was last week Monday, you know. So the clock's ticking, guys. We got to get on these plays, and it's time to get after it.
Has it been that long already, Mitch?
I can't believe it, man. I will say, though, I enjoyed the studio, guys. Those cameras made me look real skinny. So we'll take that. And, man, you guys kill it over there. Love what you guys do.
We're always happy to have you, and it was great to have you in-house as well. I'm sure it's a little bit warmer being back home once again than it is here today.
Yeah. We'll take the little warm October and warm Halloween than the cold one maybe coming for you guys.
Always
in Canada.
Great information as always.
Hey, shout out to the Blue Jays. Go.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you had me at that shout out to the Blue Jays, Mitch. Obviously, no questions asked. Yeah, it was an absolute blast, and we'll see what happens from there. But you know what? He mentioned a couple names that, let's be real, we love SoFi.
Yeah. Well,
I think yesterday I was talking about swing and CRM like right now because it closed that 50 period. So CRM at 100% has been on the radar for exactly the move that just happened yesterday, confirming that breakout. And obviously, SoFi is something we talk about on a daily basis, so I know we'll be able to get to that a little bit later. But I think it's a great pick. I like cybersecurity as well, but just in terms of software, CRM looks like it's finally getting off the schneid. The only thing about the genomics, though, like genomics were like the quantum, the biopharma, like back like 30 years ago. The question is, does AI move the needle and change things in that space? Because there's a huge, it's always been ridiculously high potential with just for a long time with no big breakthroughs.
Yeah, no, good call there. For me, the only Cathie Wood name that I'm in is ARKQ, which is, and I've been in this for a long time, and to the point where I don't even check it anymore. But this is the robotics ETF. So this has been like ridiculous, right? And so there it goes to the upside as we talk about what that next. I'm going to look today and find out where we're long on this name, but this is, 50 up to 120. I mean, what a great move on this since April. 58, a double there. Same as that ARKK has been almost a triple from that bottom there. So, we talked about Brian, who will be on with me tonight, talks about Cathie Wood being the great destroyer of capital. But that's been a nice move up, $40 to 80, so that's also a double. So very similar to the robotics as well. So, sometimes she calls in every once in a while, and there it is right there, Cathie Wood. So yeah, she's finally getting her day in the sun here, it looks like. And plus she likes Tesla, she likes Bitcoin. We see those moving around there as well. And all right, so let's go over. Joe has upgrades and downgrades.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. Yes, let's go Blue Jays. All right, let's start this off, guys, with some upgrades and downgrades. American Express getting the nod by DZ Bank, getting that price target raised to $340, going from a sell to a hold. Yes, so a big time move there. PepsiCo, DZ Bank again, guys, 167 is going to be that price target, slightly positive on the session. Now, Apple also getting the nod as well, too. 290 by Wells Fargo, slightly red on the day. Now, Carvana by JP Morgan, $490 is going to be that price target with a nice positive morning, 1.4%. Now, NewScale getting that downgrade by Citigroup, down 5%, over 5% on the session, with that price target lowered to $37.50. Zoom also getting the downgrade by Morgan Stanley, lowering that price target to $85. Verizon by BNP, price target lowered to $44, and Goldman Sachs by JP Morgan getting that lower to $750. Now, as for some of the options activity, guys, we know Apple put in some new all-time highs yesterday, so we'll take a look at that 265 strike price expiring this week. Substantial volume at that level, 134,000 contracts traded, with still 14,000 remaining open. Now, Amazon as well, too. We experienced the outage yesterday, affecting multiple brokerages, Webull, and also Robinhood. Strike price 220, expiring this week, put in a nice amount of volume, 45,600 contracts. Open interest still laying around just a bit under half that, more than half that, sorry, 24,700 contracts there. And gold also putting in a solid session at that $405 strike price. We had 7,000 contracts, and the open interest, absolutely substantial, 159,000 contracts at that 405 level. That is a lot of open interest there, guys. Now, as for the call of the day, the squeeze, Mitch was talking about the high level of short float. Again, I believe this is a time to avoid options in BYND. Why? Look at the at-the-money IV, 650%. That's insane. Not only that, your gamma is at a 1. That's substantial exposure. You don't necessarily want that much. So we had volume at 161,000 and 47,000 contracts still currently open. At the money IV, really high, guys. Not necessarily good for buying.
All right, guys, 67.73. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES December contract with the overnight high, guys, 85. So we're still looking at 6,800 as that first level of resistance, especially if we start running up at the open and taking out the overnight high. The 6750 level, that's going to be our first level of support. Take a gander at what we did last week with that 6750 level on the 15th. We got into it, we dropped again on the 16th. We move into 6750, we dropped. Former area of resistance, Brendo, we're going to use as support.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you grab the free watch list. Description down below has the link for you. All you need is your email address. Comes right to your inbox every single morning. Just be aware, if you're watching the market right now, Trump is making some comments currently live. So heads up if there's any kind of movement. Tons to get through today. So let's jump right in. Apple, all-time highs as of yesterday. We're coming back in a little bit this morning here, pre-market. That's what the daily chart is looking like. Nice clean break of that last little consolidation. I mean, surprise, surprise, Dan Ives thinks it's a good thing.
That's good. Yeah, he loves technology. Gotta love Dan. Look, good iPhone sales. Really, that's what it comes down to here. The Pro Max really is the needle mover for Apple in North America, where the consumer, has a bit more money to spend. In China, it really is the very basic iPhone 17, the one that's, I believe, around $1,000. The most value for your money if you listen to Marques Brownlee, but it's the iPhone Air in China, which is sold out. It was delayed release, and then on the first day that they released it, they sold out of it. So good look, and nice to see that Apple is finally starting to move the needle in China, because it was 2 years, Brendo, of slow declines.
Yeah, I mean, even you were saying on the weekend, you were at the Apple store here, and it was just
packed, Brendo.
Zoo.
Friday night, Saturday afternoon, they were both packed.
Yeah, good to see for them. Huge day yesterday, guys, for Apple.
Yeah, great day yesterday for Apple. Just before we get to that, if you're looking at GSIT, they announced a $50 million registered direct offering, just over 1.5 million shares. Also some warrants as well. So if you're wondering why the volume just picked up and the stock just went down $3, that is the news. $50 million registered direct offering for GSIT, which is GSI Technologies. So Apple, all-time highs yesterday. Look, you can't go wrong here. I think it's not just the growth, and it's not just the fact that the iPhone 17 is having, slightly better than expected result in early sales. I think you also have to consider that, all the criticism around not getting it done with regards to AI and the poaching of talent, well, their path is to just be the vehicle. And then on top of that, if the bubble bursts, really they would have less exposure in some regard, in my opinion. So I think pure continuation, but when the prior high is 259, like it was a good breakout yesterday, getting through those all-time highs, no questions asked. Like I kind of had it sort of pegged as a 55 to 59 move, and then it ended up being like $5 more than that. But I think today, looking at that prior high, the 259, with it down to a flat market, puts it slightly relatively weak. So that has me looking back into the prior top here, which is about 259 change. Like the consolidation area that we had on the way up kind of gives you a good spot on any kind of a dip. So it's flat, but slightly weaker than the overall market, which just means preach some patience. But I could see it consolidating the top end of this range before the next move.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice little high there yesterday. I think if you're going to short it, that would be something that you'd be looking at from yesterday's levels of 264-ish. Yeah, so right into there. I mean, the market's been pretty flat heading into today, right? So I don't really see, yesterday was, we had it. It was the number one idea on the trade on my sticky note. Neil had the long, I had the Tesla. It just broke, right? And it just kept on going once we took out that high of 260.13 or whatever it was. And then we get that high up into 264. Right now, it's actually feeling a little weak this AM. So I can't say that I really like the long. If we can get underneath 260, we take down VWAP, and then maybe we look at between 259 to 260 for the long, but let's let it settle down. If anything, I'd be looking short today in Apple. And yeah, these guys are the smartest guys as far as AI is concerned, because they're now going to get somebody to pay them $30, $40, $50 billion to use as an install, Perplexity or something like that, Gemini, whatever the deal is, just like what they're doing with Chrome. So I really like Apple. Their new products are the hottest things on the market. I would say you want to just stay long, right? They're a consumer company that just dropped a consumer product that everybody is happy with. It's the most number one satisfied, whatever customer rated product of all time is the iPhone. And apparently it just keeps on getting bigger and better. You don't hear, this is the thing, they drop their phone and everyone talks about it, right? So regardless of if you like it or not. And apparently the reason why they're selling a lot more of these things is because they have, first of all, Bitcoin right now is tanking. They're selling a lot of phones because of the trade-in value, right, of the old phones. So apparently it's you only have to pay a couple $100 more at most to get the new phone. So I think that's what a lot of people are doing. All right, so here's IBIT right now. I just said it was tanking. I wouldn't say tanking. It just went from 108.5 to 107.9 or 8 or something like that on that little bit of a move there back down in. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on here, but I saw it like really starting to pick up now with IBIT. So that should be something that we watch out for again today. It's sticky notes out. It does not have IBIT on it, but I'm feeling like I probably should. I'm looking a little short here today on some of these things. IBIT up to 62.50 again, where we closed sort of yesterday. That would be a great short if we ever bumped back up there. The 200 period right now is 62 bucks, so I think that's going to be a good short as well. But yeah, so just a little bit of a move down. I guess it's the whole market right now. That's why I didn't even look at that. The whole market right now is bleeding just a bit. So yeah, downside moves for sure happening early. Not a big day today as we sort of start earnings season. I'm a little nervous. You know, you guys know I've sold some positions off a little bit here. Was a good one in Oracle, was a good one in SMR, and maybe a good one in AMD. We'll find out. But right here, Amazon up next.
Stocks in general. I was just looking at a really interesting chart here. Why don't I just open it up and show everybody? Here we go. This is the highest level of concentration in one specific sector of the market since the 1800s. In information and technology.
Really?
Crazy chart. Let's talk about Amazon here. I was reading a note I mentioned early on, reading a note late yesterday, essentially someone making the argument that this outage yesterday over the past 24 hours or so of AWS in certain areas is actually a positive for the company and not necessarily a negative. If you look at the price action of the stock yesterday, it would tend to agree that we've just been straight to the upside for the past 24 hours at least, shrugging this off entirely. But the reliance upon this service is just growing and growing.
It's crazy, right? CrowdStrike has a completely different reaction, but they're not Amazon, friendo. Amazon, AWS controls 33% of the global cloud infrastructure market. You know, that's a sizable amount there. Let's talk about what happened. So the issue originated in a US East 1 North Virginia region around 3:11 a.m., which is a key database service that underpins numerous web apps, Brendo. AWS said the disruption stemmed from what they're calling an operational issue involving DNS, domain name systems resolution errors, which stopped the systems from finding the right IP address. They said early signs of recovery were around 1:30 p.m. yesterday, applying the regional fix. Full restoration came at 6. They said that some backlogged things were still there. Those backlogged issues were done by 6:53, and the company emphasized the data remains safe all throughout, Brendo. No compromised breaches, at least for now. So we'll have to see how the market digests this whole thing.
Clearly not bad. It's to the upside we go once again here, guys, for pre-market anyway.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things to look at is when a stock gets buy action off of clearly bad news. Like, not ambiguous as to what you interpret the news as. Like an outage that affects everybody, like puts it in the news for the wrong reasons, and essentially you spent the entire day rallying on Amazon. Now the market was doing a bit of a comeback as well, and that pulls into it. But I think, like I said yesterday, it was a reminder to everybody just how big of a deal they are. But ultimately, what really happened too is you just bounced off the earnings lows. Like, remember, they got punished for not growing as fast in cloud growth as Microsoft and Alphabet, and that was the reason for that pullback. We've now retested it again, and another bounce. It feels to me like this 200 hold is trying to, like, minimum get up to like the 220 change, and then this 225 to make another retest of the 50 pre-moving average. Now, this one's not on my trade radar today. I just feel it's obvious to now look for that earnings support and a double bottom and sort of flip into like favoring the long until 225 on the stock. So, like, I don't want to, again, like, this is not one that's on my trade list. I've got Tesla and AMD and Beyond Meat and then SMR. So I probably do not trade Amazon today. But I like that earnings low. I mean, candidly, like, I bought them after the earnings, essentially like a couple of days after the earnings at that earnings low myself. If I hadn't, I probably would have also bought it here too. But I had already bought this level. Looks like Warner Brothers Discoveries is open to getting acquired. How long has that rumor been around? Like, we were a few weeks ago. I feel like we were first. There's going to be a deal. Yeah, well, it still hasn't happened yet. Like, what was it? It was the It was September 11th. Man, it's been a while. It's been over a month. I guess a few weeks ago. It's been a month and a half, basically, since that rumor first came in, but they're open to being acquired. Let's see if something actually comes of this. For WBD, you want to see some terms for sure. It's HOLX is the big deal today because they were getting bought for some cash. But yeah, WBD, we kind of knew that the potential was here for a deal. Now maybe there's something that could be coming firm.
Yeah, that should be good. Yesterday we had Lululemon, just Amazon, and a little bit of retail. I know it's not, these aren't two the same, but Lulu yesterday just can't get out of its own way. Like it finally was up 3 or 4% and then basically sold off from noon all the way back in. So now you're trying to open up flat again. I just wanted to look at this level of 172 here for Lululemon. I mean, yesterday it was sort of the get up spot there. We ripped just all morning from 170 all the way up to 176. And then we came back in and looked at 172 to 173, which is sort of where we ended at and where we're going to open. So watch out for Lululemon here today. You know, not just because I've been buying the dip there, but it's a good level. So I think for today, we'll watch this name. Just another name that's on radar. And I think it's just, again, like I don't love the space. Like obviously, like look what's been happening to it here. But it tried to break this 180 a couple times. And I just think like one time it's going to break it and then it's going to get upgraded or it's going to catch a story. And then you're back to 2 and potentially 230, 240. So you can get this name right now pretty cheap using 160 as your stop. I don't know. I just think there's a lot of upside here with Lululemon. So, anyways, we'll wait to see. Crypto right here. Yeah, we've been talking about it. It's 108.5 again right now. So crypto weak. I don't know if it's weak or not. I mean, it's just kind of doing what it's doing. I do know though that if you're invested in gold or the S&P 500, you may be a little bit happier than being invested in crypto, especially over the last year. Let's go find out the story today with Bitcoin in the crypto space.
We're talking about, just real quick, we were talking about Beyond Meat early on, just seeing another headline here, expanding distribution at Walmart for BYND. So it just popped up there to day highs through to 240. Yeah, IBIT back downside here this morning. We're splitting the difference of that gap we saw yesterday on the ETF anyways. After a nice day yesterday, I mean, we held on Bitcoin. If you go to a Bitcoin chart, we held near highs, but back down here.
Yeah, we did. And there's an interesting Elon Musk SpaceX angle to this whole thing. So SpaceX moved a little bit less than 2,500 coins, which is about $268 million, between two dormant wallets, the company's first major Bitcoin transaction in 3 months. And let's say this mirrors more like of the Coinbase move in July, where, you know, it's more of an internal treasury reallocation rather than a market sale. Despite this, though, the timing amid ETF outflows, which I'll get to in a second, Brendo, and the high leverage liquidations that we've been talking about with crypto in general, stirred speculation online about Musk's crypto exposure. On-chain observers note, though, that there was no coins have actually yet hit exchanges from those 2,500 that I was speaking about, suggesting it's more of a bookkeeping issue, not a sell event. Now, with respect to spot Bitcoin ETFs, we saw about $40.5 million in outflows yesterday, Brendo, pushing the total assets down to about $150 billion. I'm talking about IBIT, the BlackRock ETF. Also, derivatives market looks like there was selling pressure there. About $89 million in BTC longs were liquidated out of about 321, which were sell orders. So we'll see how fares today.
Yeah, tough spot here, I think, for this market overall. It's worth mentioning some of the yields back higher again today, including the 10-year and the 30-year, back above 4.5 once again for the 10-year. So tough spot here. Sean, you mentioned this down move right away here for IBIT. 61, though, seems to be the bigger level.
Yeah, I'm not, thanks, Brett. No, yeah, I'm not too sure about what we want to do today with Bitcoin other than go short. Like, I don't, we've now broken through the 62 area now. We did touch, like, that's great. Like, touching that 200 period is exactly what you want to see, and then it bounce back higher. It's just today I'm not really getting the vibe. Like, I was talking about it yesterday where the Nasdaq was up 1.3%, and we obviously get a big bump there yesterday in Bitcoin. But now you're kind of trying to pull back a little bit. Bitcoin didn't do much all day. Like, the Nasdaq had that huge move, and then we kind of sold off while the market, although sold off maybe near the end of the day, we still wound up pretty nicely. And you could see it was a little bit of a down draft there yesterday in crypto, let alone Ethereum. So for me, looking at BTC right now, yeah, I think anything back into here, you know, that level of $62 on the daily chart right into here, like that to me is looking like a great short opportunity. And then we have our outs, right? Like you can get out at if it breaks this 62.50, or you can even get out if it breaks 63, yesterday's high zone. So I think the fact that you're down 2% means that there's going to be some expansion of the range today for Bitcoin. And yeah, there's these bumps were sold both times. So you got a bump up there from 61.50 up to 62.20. You came back in again, and you bumped up back to that price again and fell. So both times you respected the 200-period moving average. To me, this is a short right here at 62. I should have added it to the sticky note, so I'm there now, looking to go short on IBIT, honestly, right around here. So you know, I like this name long term, obviously, but that's quite a nice move down. And like I said, man, people that have been pumping Bitcoin, it's great. And we like to say, oh, Bitcoin's up when it's going up. But really, it's been pretty bad. Nasdaq's at highs, S&P 500's at highs, Dow's at highs, gold's at highs, IBIT nowhere near highs. So obviously, it's been a great run, but you can't talk about where we've come from, yet we're only a little worried about where we're going. And right now, Bitcoin well underperforming all major asset classes, pretty much, that we talk about here anyways. So yeah, I would say looking short is the right thing to do right now for BTC.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I liked it long at 62.5. And if you're supporting resistance, you gap underneath like what ended up being the bottom. That's no brainer. Like all the time on something trending up, we're like, okay, well, I like this long. Like we're not even talking about AMD. Like I'll just give you a quick example of what I'm looking for in AMD. Like you talk about resistance turning into support from a bullish standpoint. And today, AMD, I'm looking over under at 239.5. I'm willing to go either direction here. The prior high, if we hold support, I'm looking longs, as long as that holds the open range. If it doesn't, then it's back into resistance. So in terms of IBIT, that just means 62.5 is the spot for me. You get up there, and I'm looking to fade it off of yesterday's low.
Of earnings names to deal with early on this morning. Coke back to session highs here. One of them, GM, on the other hand, the other one coming off a little bit, but much bigger move here for GM than Coke. Both, however, nicely positive to start here.
Yeah, good. They were decent. I'm going to cover GM, Brendo. Sure. EPS came in at 280, beating the 231 revenue. Nice beat here, guys. $48.6 billion. The street was looking for 45 and a quarter, a little bit more than that. Despite that, revenue was down less than 1% year over year, but they did raise their full year 2025 guidance, hence why we're moving up. And then this next part over here, very important. They lowered their expected tariff impact down to 3.5 to 4.5 billion. Prior to that, they had been guiding 4 to 5 billion, and they're planning to offset about 35% of that new number, 3.5 to 4.5 billion. President Mary Barra thanked President Trump, CEO Mary Barra, I should say, thanked President Trump for his recent tariff adjustments, including new levies on imported trucks and about a 3.75% offset on U.S.-made vehicles, which is helping GM's North American margins. So we'll have to see how they do here. Brendo, they did obviously speak badly about the EV sector, as we know that they haven't been doing that well with.
Yeah, even though they, if you remember back to when Tesla launched the cheaper models of the Y and the Model 3, very next day, GM was on the bandwagon, reducing their prices to a little bit less than what Tesla did. Here's a quick look at the numbers from Coke, 82 versus 78, 12.5 billion versus 12.4, we'll call it. So both guys nicely positive to start.
Yeah, and GM, to be double digits on GM, it was a big beat, and the guy was fantastic for them as well. Tough business, it's been like that for a while, and I don't know that everything's all in the clear. If you go to a monthly on GM, you'll see $67 as a top. I want to stick with the daily chart just to show you here. Double top at about 61.5. So it's currently playing almost exactly in the middle of that range. Unless we test like 61.5 for a dip or 67 for a potential reversal fade. I think if it gets to 67, that's just a little bit too far and look for a fade up there. But it's diddling in the middle right now. A name that ended up not one of the earnings names, but that's on the list today for myself. It was weird. Like it got an initiation to overweight SMR, and it also got a downgrade. So it kind of had action in both directions for them. But overall, I just see a flat bottom break on it. Like and my favorite number is 42. But there was a flat bottom break through a couple of lows yesterday. And if you look at the next level, it's like 41. It's more like 41 and a half, but like right around this 42. Like the next level down is like 38 bucks. So there's a lot of potential underneath it till support at 38. So as long as we're holding underneath 43, I'm looking for like pop and fade pre-market high, right in around that 42 level for SMR. I think this one's going to be a mover. Like, I mean, it moves almost every single day today, every single day. I only see GM as a potential trade if it gets out of that diddling in the middle. But it's a great look on the daily chart. Undeniably, the best looking chart in the auto space. I mean, that's not Tesla.
I have, yeah, we're gonna hurry up because it's 9:25. But I have gold on my mind here again today for the first time actually. Like looking to short this 391 to 392. So it's on the sticky note. The sticky note's now out. You can go find it, Trader TV, Sean. But I'm looking short here. Down 4%. Finally starting to crack a little bit here in gold. I would love this thing to get a little lower so I can buy some of it. But yeah, nice move to the downside right now for GLD. I'm looking short around 391 to 392 area. I'm already sitting there. I'm actually sitting right now 391. So if we get a 391 bump early, we'll short that. But we do understand that view up is here at 389. So that could be the area. But I haven't traded gold before, so I'm not super familiar with the way it's going to move. But I've been watching it, and it's pretty steady. And I'm not too worried about liquidity here as it's an ETF. So I think we'll have lots of time to find shares if we need to. So, but anyways, GLD with a nice move to the downside here today, and so is silver. So I could have chose silver, and I think we could probably look at this as well. And you know that will be near that 46 marker. But the thing is that you have a bigger move to the high end here up to 47. It's just down much more than, not much more, but 1.5% more than gold. So I think I like gold to short a little more than silver, but yeah, I'm looking short both these metals, and you could do it with, you know, TMC, the metal company, and things like that. As there has been a nice little downside push here. GDX could be something else to look at. This down 3%. So, anyways, that's what I'm doing right now. I was looking over all that. I got SoFi, I got AMD, I got GLD, and I got BYND on the sticky note here again today. Let's see what's going on. I mean, we mentioned holding this one overnight, and if you did, shout out to Westermeyer and everybody else. Looks like you're in for something here again today, another 60%.
Yeah, convenient Walmart headline here at the top after 2 days straight to the upside here for BYND. If you missed it again, Beyond Meat expanding their distribution at Walmart to now 2,000 stores nationwide. So that sent it up through 250 here on a decent volume spot.
Yeah, this is not bad. At least there's a headline here to go with the price action. Brando, because we were watching this one yesterday, really get squeezed. It looked like an awfully clean short squeeze there being spoken about widely on Wall Street bets and online. But today, a nice move with Walmart. Walmart is also among the first national retailers to offer the new Beyond Burger 6-pack, Brando, featuring the latest Beyond Burger in a convenient value pack. I don't know how many times they can kind of repackage the same product. I'm not going to eat it.
I mistakenly had a vegan sausage roll on the weekend.
And?
Hard pass.
I had a feeling that was coming.
Hard pass. It tasted like nothing. It tasted like bread.
It's not for me, Brent.
Yeah.
And there's a heavy amount of salt. I don't know if you've noticed.
No, it tastes like nothing.
Yeah.
It was bread. It was terrible. Anyway, Beyond, guys.
Well, that talk apparently flipped the imbalance that was there a second. It was a 1.2 million buy imbalance a second ago, and then went down to 300, and now it's not even there anymore. Quick look at the imbalances. Oh, there it is. Like, yeah, 280. Still 280. QBTS is about imbalance of 200 to sell. BVAI 200 to sell. So not significant in either way. But it was great off $1 if you liked it, but $2 is the next support level. Obviously, when you look at the daily, you can see 270 and $3 is the 200-period moving average. I think 270, it's got room at 270. As long as $2 is able to hold, like you do have a pretty respectable range in here, like 2 into the 230 level. So those are the two keys, and then play up to 270. I'm not willing to look at 230 just yet. I think keying off $2 early is going to be the way to go, at least for myself. So I mentioned AMD, so we went to that. SMR we also talked about, but Beyond Meat, still a buy and balance, but it did pair off almost instantly when that million came out.
Yeah, we wrote down on the note the 200-period moving average of 150, but yeah, now that's up to 190. So I still think we're looking at $2 here for Beyond Meat. If you do get that little bit of a flush, in 30 seconds we're opening up, you're going to get that. The other trade I have is AMD. If we pop up to AMD, we want to short it. So we're going to wait to see if we can break through that 243 area just up here, somewhere around there anyways, with only 20 seconds to go. So my offer right now is at 242.50. I don't think we get there, but the market's trying to rally a bit. The thing we could trade early is IBIT. I think this one could come in first. So we'll wait to see if that does indeed come in. So yeah, with only 5 seconds left now. 3, 2, and 1. Our opening bell is normally brought to you by VinFast, but if I missed it there, I didn't see it. So shout out to everybody. And now we're gonna fix our those boards up. They'll update with newer prices. I don't know, they're not updating now, but the Dow Jones and SPY right now both opening up flat. So maybe we could even get that off that board until it updates or something, because right now, false information. All right, so IBIT right now, trying to get that going. AMD moving around a little bit. Gold not doing too much. Apple was a mover yesterday early. It looks like it's trying to go again today. Was down to 261, sorry. Looking to take out that top at 264 again is Apple. So yeah, big movement early for AAPL, straight upside now. Okay, good for Apple, man. You can't keep it down, I guess.
But you can keep Nvidia down, apparently.
Okay.
I mean, like, not in the long term, but Nvidia just went red. That's the heaviest candle when I look up, and nothing's really moving too crazy. It would be Nvidia. This wasn't on the. I did have it on the note at 185, but like that's so far away that that's not going to be the first thing to watch for me. So Nvidia down about $1 here. SMR.
Oh, we got something.
Yeah, SMR doesn't really break the low. It's kind of just hanging around. Still looking for it to pop, maybe give me that VWAP and that 42, the meaning of life, to fade that one. And what's going on with Beyond Meat off of the open? I did see it. Yeah, it's pulling back heavily into $2. So I was looking at the $2 level first. Pulling back heavily into $2 right now is Beyond Meat.
All right, Samsung in a deal with, trying to make a deal, I guess, with Perplexity.
Your thing.
Yeah, so just before I go on, one position right now, SoFi. So we have SoFi. This was, again, we talked about it. It is the #1 idea that we had on here, long at 28.50, and it just fell in. So I actually, you know, we mentioned SoFi. We had Mitch on. He was talking a little bit about SoFi, and then we sort of glanced over it a bit. But there it is right now. We have SoFi. I like the stock. We're long this one. I'm actually going to stop out if we break this 28, like 28.35 or so down there. That was that bottom wick, but so far so good here for SoFi, as the market just heading southbound pretty aggressively right now, actually. So yeah, I don't know why SoFi is going up, but maybe we will take a little bit of an advantage of that with a nice win to start off with here. We'll go 1 for 1 so far with SoFi. If we can get it out, well, there it is. Now we get a 79. So it's 15 cents, but it's good, man. It's only a $28 stock. So let's see where it goes. Now I'll get a little bit more if it comes back to 28.50. SoFi.
Yeah, great look at SoFi. I mean, nothing's really, nothing on the list is really doing what we were expecting off the open in terms of movement or volatility. I'd like to see Beyond Meat hold VWAP. That's not doing much of anything. SMR
AMD
still
is ripping.
Well, the weird thing is AMD is ripping and Nvidia's tanking. Like AMD just broke out above the volume weighted average price, so it holds 239.5. But I'm not sticking in that long. Like, look at Nvidia continue to fall here. That's looking incredibly weak. Oh, the one name we didn't talk about was Tesla. Tesla doesn't seem to have a chance to break the 450 level. So, you know, if it gets up to 450, that's obviously yesterday's high and a big deal. But right now, I'm just looking to get into SMR as that is continuing to crack a little bit lower.
Good.
First available bounce we're trying to grab here. Big spread on SMR at the open. Like, I'm still seeing like a 30-cent spread at times on the stock, despite the fact it's a $40 stock. It's a wide spread for now.
GM pullback?
No.
A little, well, not much, but a little bit.
I was hoping, nice to see you, Randy.
I was kind of hoping.
I was hoping for coffees, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of went through one already.
You've got us trained up so well. There it is right there with a nice little move there on SoFi. Yeah, we didn't look at GM. Yeah, we'll look at it. I promise we'll look at it when you get back there, Randy. But there it is, a little bit of a reload. We said we wanted to get more. So now we have our full position here on SoFi. So it's that couple unit position that we'd like to take early on, and we'll just wait. I'm going to use that bottom as a break. I think it's well worth it now. I mean, if we wind up losing 15 cents or so on this name, fine by me. But yeah, we just took some out there at 59 on a reload. We do have AMD here. We are in it a little bit early, but again, you know, we wanted to trade this name. Whether or not it's going to be right or not, we're going to wait for it.
Beyond Me.
We did. I did not see Beyond Me yet, but here comes AMD just quickly to the downside. Now is AMD. We're going to look at Beyond Me in a second, but I just want to say we wrote down 243. So yeah, not too certain here what's going on, but we're going to put in a little bid. We're short at 66s, so we've got long SoFi, short AMD right now. But and then I know SMR. I still can't believe
SMR just tagged 40.
that we got 57 on that one. I think it's about time that we reload our longs.
I'm short it, but I'm holding on. I've sold 2/3 of SMR, and the last third is I grit my teeth, and I'm just going to hold it forever because we're playing with house money. But it just came right back into that pre-market high and then bounced off 40. So you know me, I get 41.22 because Will Clark, and then cover in front of 40.22 because Will Clark. So we're going to see if we can't hold on to this one a little bit more. If it breaks down through 40, I still think there's room to 38. But keep in mind, it's down 8.5%. So that whole 10% down can become the thing. I'd get out on a 10% move 100%.
All right, there's a dollar club right there for AMD, so we're happy with that. But we just did get stopped out on SoFi there, so I don't know. It looks like it broke up. I mean, it broke 40, that low of the day, and then went back upside. So I'm going to try maybe one more. That's too bad. Okay, there's AMD. Sorry, this is the trade I was talking about. SoFi just breaks, man, there, and yeah, that's too bad because to still hold on to it would have been nice, man. We were long at about 20. I mean, on the average price, we got some 40s there as well. So too bad, but that came out, so that's okay. And then there goes AMD, but now it's coming battling back. I mean, look at this market. So we got to be careful with what we're trying to do. It's too bad that we lost out on that SoFi, but I'm going to try to buy it back right now, even just small at 51s. So we do take a hit on it. It wasn't that big, but again, a hit is a hit. So we'll wait to see if we can get that back in. We've got another unit on now for SoFi. Hopefully that's going back to the upside. And then here we go. As the market goes, we just got 241.50. So from cashing out just at 239.80 right there and 240s, we'd get a 241. So we are on our way, which is good. I feel good about this because I mean, I don't feel great about it because we're losing, but we're properly sized. So as this comes back up to the upside right now and it hits our 243 area, we can see if indeed AMD is a short. I mean, if this Nasdaq wants to keep going, it's going to be a problem. Neil mentioned it, Nvidia maybe moving to the downside.
It was trying to bounce just now on Nvidia, but I just took the break even on SMR. So we were able to get the buck early. And then I'm not going to take a hit. If you get a bottoming tail candle, if I get a bottoming tail candle like this on a short, it's like, yeah, I like the short, but I'll let it play to that 42 a little bit better, or I'll look for a place back into it. So again, just try to go one for one, maybe move on to the next available trade, and Beyond Meat might be it. Beyond Meat bounced. I don't want to say clean off VWAP because that wick is 10% underneath VWAP, but it held $2 and it holds a volume weighted average price. If a small capper can do that, then I want to play the trend into the upside on this as long as it's able to. So volume weighted average price holding. There's a 250 break in play. I'd try a 250 break for small size and prefer the dip buy on a stock like this. That's just my preference. Early on, there's way too many false breaks. So I'd rather go whatever I would take on a dip buy. I would take probably a third on a breakout of 250 on B. I mean, that's looking like it's a potential next trade, at least for myself. And then Tesla, I'd mentioned, maybe it wouldn't break 250. Well, Tesla's at 447. So the train to 450, I might have said 250, sorry. The train to 450 is trying to leave the station here. And Tesla, I do prefer it for a long, so I think we're in a consolidative range. So I'll play VWAP, at least when that starts setting up. It's a little early for V. I'll play VWAP into a 450 breakout here on Tesla. Dara.
Yeah, Dara.
Keep an eye on Warner Brothers Discovery here, and maybe also Paramount, Skydance, PSKY, and WBD. CNBC reporting that Netflix and Comcast are apparently among the interested parties in Warner Brothers. And the reason I bring up Paramount, Skydance is we know that PSKY was also reportedly very interested in Warner Brothers and a potential acquisition or merger with them as well. So WBD moving higher. Again, Netflix and Comcast, CMCSA, both reportedly interested in potentially acquiring Warner Brothers. Back to you.
All right. Yeah, I just heard something about Netflix and Warner Brothers and all of that.
Comcast.
Yeah, Comcast, yeah. So unfortunately, it's fortunate but unfortunate. We don't have as many shares as we had initially on SoFi, but fortunately, the move is happening a little bit now to the upside. So we just take out there. It's not going through 60s, right? So we took out another 57 there. And then we're short and pretty good right now with AMD as it's trying to pull back just a little bit here. So we'll put some bids lower. We just missed a 241 bid there. there. So we got to get in and around there to make sure that we get something out on AMD, especially if it does continue to crank a little bit lower for us. Now we're short at 241.40s. We were just trying to absorb this blow. And it just came back in for us, and we didn't take that out. So, all right, let's see if we get another move back into it. Just like touched 241.10s there or so, and that would have been definitely a nice little windfall for me, and I needed it off that SoFi loss. So let's wait to see what happens right here. There it is. Okay, good. There it is. So now we got it. So now we're back to flat on the day holding these trades. So now, so far so good. They're good trade by SMR. Obviously, if you can catch $1 anytime on any stock, I think that's great. So good call there. And then now we'll just wait to see. Okay, here we go. Now we're green all of a sudden, so that was good right there. Now we've got $1 on AMD, but we had to wait for that move to happen. Let's see if, okay. Yes, Neil. Wow, now we are cooking with gas. So that's it. There it is. Now we're almost at our daily goal right here already, and we didn't start off that way. Thank you, SoFi. But we get it right back. Now $2 now in the money. $2 in the money right now on AMD. Wow, who rang that register right now with me as it continues to make moves lower here? Wow, AMD, man, there it is. That's our dollar right there. Another day, another goal hit right there. Let's see if it continues, man. It's only 940 though right now. Market's pretty volatile. It seems like for the chip names anyways. That was quite a dramatic move for no reason there.
Well, Nvidia just got back to the low of the
Futures
day.
didn't do anything.
Oh, and Beyond Meat doesn't want to get to VWAP. It's trying to, there's a buyer at 230 on Beyond Meat. There's two things I'm trying to work with here. One, the volume weighted average price, and the other one's going to be the pre-market high. But I just saw someone, they're not walking it up, but I saw them at $2.30. So what I'm going to do is only need one order. Going to nibble in there if I can grab the fill and then wait for 220 for a little bit more confirmation. I did jump back. There was a topping tail wick in SMR, so I'm back into it at the same price as before, looking for the same target.
Jesus.
But it is Beyond Meat that's on my mind, and Tesla, obviously. Because Tesla's still churning toward that 450 level. Hey, where's my breakout order? Okay. I didn't cancel you, Tesla. Got to get that order back in. The market's headed to lows, and Tesla seems to still want to break out that 450. And don't forget about Bitcoin. I know it's not moving a ton now, but it did this game yesterday before eventually giving you some bigger moves. So I'm still sitting at 62.5. But if it never gets up there, then I got to fade this where I can and not where I want it to be. At some magical price. If you want the short, it might just have to be off the pre-market high instead. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, everybody. Just got into Beyond Meat, and I will show you. I know we got back into SMR. I didn't actually show you. Essentially just the same trade as before. Yeah. So we're right back into it, but I think it could put in a bit of a higher low, so I want to respect that.
Yeah, all right. So we're going to absolutely destroy. We're $3 now in on AMD off of, again, our posted levels. So we're really happy with that one, but we're not happy that we got back in here. We did okay with SoFi on getting back in, but now it's trying to break lower. But it's funny because the market is just cracking so much right here. Tanking. So we'll give back a lot, not a lot, but we'll give back something on the SoFi trade. But it's really the trade that's making them sing right now is this one here with AMD. So that is right now absolutely just falling out of favor with the market right now. So we'll take another bid here at 239 and just wait to see how low exactly we can go on this short. I mean, it did go against us about $1 and change. So the fact that we're 3 in the money now, it's nice, but you know, we did have to hold this one against us. So it could have got nastier, but again, with proper risk management, we talk about that all the time. Hopefully you're able to, you know, forego some of these early takes and able to hit it right now with vigor like we have done. So right now, just to let you guys know, I'll wind up losing about half of what we make on AMD. We'll lose here on SoFi because if SoFi breaks 30, we're out. So this one just not really reacting the way I thought it would today. I thought it was going to be a long. We had obviously Mitch on here, loved the stock as well. That doesn't matter. It's just,
I think long term it's...
Oh, long term I'm buying every dip on SoFi. It's one of the names that I'm trying to get into. And we did. We recently bought 25.50. But yeah, to your point, right here today, the market's getting hit. So
yeah, the market's
SoFi going down, and probably bank stocks also. With the Nasdaq now down 0.24, the ES now flat. Looks like it's the Nasdaq that's really starting to crack. We're still waiting for this to even get lower, AMD. But I don't mind a little bump in the market right now to get
just
me
one note
out of some SoFi.
In terms of the market going down, it's worth mentioning General Motors just broke the high of the day.
Oh, okay.
So Randy's not back. He gives a coffee. Pumps you look at it. GM is now up 12% on their earnings beat and continuing to absolutely fly to the upside. I think too far is 67, so that's the level that I'm looking at. You just pull out like a monthly chart and you'll be able to see it clear as day. Like that's nothing impressive to be able to look at the 67 level. I just think it's a bit much if it gets up there on GM. I just double tapped and got all out of SMR a little bit early. Like I had a bid and then I saw a buyer and I'm like, oh, bid enter, so I'm out of it. I'll probably try it maybe one more time. But what I have to respect, it's held 41 times. If it holds 40 again, it's essentially the same trade twice on a topping tail wick. The third time through isn't always a charm when you go back to the well at the same level. So it's been a good short, but it never got to that 42. Beyond Meat's trying to hold on to VWAP. I am long in front of the volume weighted price. But if it doesn't close in front, then I don't want to fight it. I'm not going to fight that stock. And then IBIT is rolling over as we speak. So if I want to get this short, it's not going to be 62.5. It's going to have to play off the current highs on IBIT. But it's also under the volume weighted average price, which is always a short setup for me if I'm going to favor it. So it looks like IBIT will have to be somewhere that we weren't expecting. I thought we'd go a little bit higher at first. Oh, suffice to say, Tesla didn't break, by the way.
Oh, did not? Okay.
No, I mean, Tesla's not breaking 450 with what the market just did. So I've canceled that order. A good thing about a breakout is you don't have to take it if it doesn't break.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole thing. Like, we were lucky enough to get a nice little, well, lucky enough, I don't know. I mean, here's my sticky note for the day here today. And it was just basically SoFi long 28.50. It came in, we tried it. It actually went to 28.60, but we were just getting into it. So we were like, okay, maybe this is going to rip. And I never know, like, is this going to be a profit spot or not? So we back and forth with SoFi. We'll take an L on that one. But then the AMD is really printed. We can go look. That was 150 close, but we want the, there we go. SoFi just came out, which is fine. I'm not going to get back into that one until we get near to 28, and even then, maybe not. GLD, we can look at that area right now. Let's go have a quick look at gold just to see if there's anything going on right now. GLD, we're still at our one daily goal, but we did lose on that SoFi as it just came back in again. So we don't get really a gold bump. It did bump a little bit in there to 389, but you can see on the market right now, dollar is up, the Qs are down 0.3, SPY 0.7 up, Dow is up, and Bitcoin continues to fade out just a little bit. Man, we might have got stopped out again near that low for SoFi, but breaking through 30s, but now it's back up to 37. So I don't know. Let's just hope that the market can come back in right here for advanced micro devices. And then SoFi, AMD, gold, and beyond. I mean, we were looking at that a little bit earlier in the pre-market, but not much going on right now. Still waiting for that $2 mark, which is the 200 period moving average. That could eventually play. Oh man, now SoFi is making me think that we might have double touched the bottom there a couple times. But yeah, market downside. Maybe I will get into some TQQ shorts. I'm feeling like the market short a bit. Obviously, we've got the big banger with AMD right now for myself, 250 in the money. Oh man, SoFi, come on, man. As if you just went back down, back up again. So, all right, SoFi got me there, but that was okay. It wasn't a huge trade. We just averaged back into it, which was the problem. But here it is now. Here goes, okay. We just broke nicely now on AMD. Boom. There it goes, man. Spin the damn thing. This is what we're doing right now. It's a big day for AMD shorts, and the market, it looks like here, starting to break a little lower.
Yeah, well, it's a big day for the short, no questions asked. Soham, I want to get to Amazon in a quick little second, but I jumped out of Beyond Meat. It's still a chance to close above VWAP, which as long as it does, I'm jumping back into it. And then we said we're going to take our first shot at IBIT, so we did. Into the short underneath that volume weighted average price. It just kind of retested 61.5 there. I'm going to reload in front of those highs and play the range until it stops ranging. We'll talk Amazon, but we have to go to Adara at the desk first.
We're here. A lot of these names that reported earnings pre-market are moving around potentially right now, specifically with earnings calls on watch. Here is HAL I have here. Not a ton of volume on this, but Halliburton here, certainly going to be a name to watch. They're expecting Q4 North American revenue to drop by 12 to 13% sequentially, and they do see a $60 million hit from tariffs. Now we also have Northrop Grumman, NOC, revising their guidance lower due to delays in award timing. So NOC, HAL, and potentially others here going to be on watch with earnings calls. If I see any other names of note with regards to these earnings calls, I'll certainly let you know. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Adara.
So as we were going to go to Adara, Amazon was really, really strong. And it just pulled back $1 off of the highs. Remember, the outage yesterday was met with buying, right? So met with a string of buying all day long. So Amazon resumes its strength. Technically, it looks good off of the lows. But right now, it's bucking the market trend. Because the market is through the lows. Where's my market red? There it is. The market's through the lows, the ES, Nasdaq, so I don't know how long anything's going to be able to hold up. I just slipped into IBIT, target 61.20. Oh, I keep forgetting I'm going to do this. This is silly. So look, I'm in IBIT, but Bitcoin is right in front of that 10.8 level. So if we get down to, 108 level. If we get down to 108, that would be the spot to maybe look for a bounce. If we bounce there, I would cover IBIT and look for the next opportunity. So Bitcoin head to the downside. I'm going to imagine Ethereum is not doing very well either. That's going to be at the low of the day. So market a little bit flushy, and overall, like Nvidia could get to that 180 level as well. I only say that. That's a 50 period on the daily, and there's been support the last calendar week here. Obviously going back into late last week, Nvidia, that 180 level could be pretty big.
I don't even know what to do here with advanced micro devices, man. We're now almost $4 in the money. You guys have asked for different styles of trading, man, and I mean, I adjusted to it. It's been so much better, just relaxing. Like I said yesterday, we traded 2 names. It was a big day. Today we traded 2 names again, but we lost on SoFi, but we got it right here on advanced micro devices. So couldn't be happier. But I have some very exciting news. You can't tell by my voice. There's sophisticated traders on this stream. We know that. And if you are located in Canada or looking to trade some of these Canadian opportunities, Beta Pro by Global X Canada is its largest provider of levered, inverse, and inverse leveraged ETFs. It has just launched 6 new ETFs offering 3 times bull and bear exposure to S&P TSX 60, the semiconductors, and of course, US Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just, Sharif, believe this, 65 basis points. I mean, I can't believe it, until December 31st. Sharif looking very handsome, by the way, in his Adidas, man. I really like that. They have US-based focused on strategies like currency hedging, and they offer potential for pure performance and exposure. If you're a tactical trader like Sharif, sophisticated and looking to amplify your performance, please check out betapro.ca/3 times daily and pick up your Adidas tracksuit at a local Adidas near you. I actually picked up almost that exact same one. I'm going to wear it tomorrow at Sherway. I picked one up on the weekend, so I'm going to be wearing my. Well, we're similar today, Sharif. We got the Blue Jays going on there. We're celebrating it today. Great game to be at there, Neil. That was fantastic. But today we got the market on our mind, of course, and unfortunately the market's down, but I mean, it's not down that much.
A quarter point.
I think Vladdy needs to get in here, put his 500 schmil in here, and start buying this market up. But yeah, credit to Vladdy too for his English.
Do that.
For his English, because honestly, I was ragging him a while, but now he's great. He speaks English. Like Otani's been in here for 7 or 8 years, can't speak as well as
I have
Vlad.
A theory about that though.
What? It's easier to deny gambling allegations.
Well, that's exactly the point. I think when you're in the public spotlight as much as Otani, I feel like the whole I can't speak English. That's a nice little crutch that you can use to not have to deal with things as much. And you know what? If you can get away with it, fine. Like it's gonna be an absolute mob show here for him. So I missed. Oh, one of my charts must have VWAP a little bit incorrect there because I was offering above the volume weighted average price on IBIT. Gonna look to reload this as we go over back to the desk. Adara, what do you have for us?
Not a great look for Novo Nordisk this morning. We do know that Bloomberg early today proposed that reported that the chairman of the company is stepping down amid a plan to shake up the board. Now I'm seeing comments coming from Lars Reben Sorensen, who has been proposed as the new chair for Novo Nordisk's board. He's saying this is an unusual situation and that he hopes it won't scare off other investors. So interesting look here for Novo Nordisk. As I have updates, I'll let you know. Back to you.
It's just
they don't. No, there are different things happening.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dara.
Okay, so obviously
Apple's
a nice battle back right now. Yeah, I mean, I think Apple is leading.
Apple anew.
Is it?
Oh, check. Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Love some Apple.
I wanted to be sure before I said a new all-time high just got tagged at 265 for Apple. This is with the market heading into the downside, but we're getting a bit of a bounce here. The Nasdaq's making an attempt, and if you do, you look at the Qs right now. This could be a nice little bounce off 610. We're still above 25,000. It's battling the volume weighted average price here. If this breaks, you could be trend breaking here if we get above the volume weighted average price. So that's the kind of place where I at least think about should I jump out, take the profit, and then move on to the next? Control, Alt, Escape. SoFi caught a nice bounce at 28.15, looking to hold for VWAP. Well, the market's at VWAP as well, so I haven't pulled up SoFi. I can't tell you where it is, but VWAP on a trend break is always my cup of tea, and you can see the market rolling over at VWAP itself. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Control, Alt, Escape. Whatever that actually does.
Yeah, we're in good name there. We're in the TQs, same kind of way. I'm thinking it could possibly I mean, I'm looking for another trade at the end of the day, so we're going to see if we can find one here. And that is just going to short the market. I mean, we have VWAP and we have the 50-period right here, right near that breaking spot. So I feel like this is a good area for me to work with right now. And if we do bump up, maybe we just wind up getting out in and around that 108, breaking through the 200-period moving average. But here we go. It's another one right now. We'll see if we can get it going to the downside now on the futures. So it's small, but whatever. It's in the money now. 15 cents says there it goes. So nice little move here for the mat. Wow. Holy shit, Sharif. We just put this on right there. So again, check out the different things here. 107.30, bang, right there. You get 30 cents like it's candy. A nice move to the downside right now. We'll see if we can get something else. I'm bidding right here again, down by O's, if we can get that. But we just hit the sirens. It's another new short here on the TQQs. So we've already traded 3 names today. Wow, there it goes again. Spin the cash right now. And again, Neil picks Bitcoin. I picked the market. Either way, we're both looking short. Nice move to the downside right now. Oh boy, this is good, man. Real good trade happening now. $4 in the money now. As look at what just happened to AMD as well, just cranked a lot lower, but nice move to the downside. We are really starting to put some of this in our account right here, Neil. 40 cents on the TQs right now, and $4 in change now on AMD. But there it goes, man. Short the market, and maybe good things will happen. What's up, Adara?
Just keep an eye here on Kenvue, KVUE, pushing higher here with an interview with Starboard CEO Jeff Smith. He's being interviewed here by CNBC. Starboard is, of course, an activist investor, and they're saying that with regards to Kenvue, there's a search underway for a new CEO. So Starboard CEO is saying that apparently Kenvue is looking for a new CEO, leading to a push higher here in KVUE. Back to you.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they could probably use it. Warner Brothers, by the way, for anyone, I see a lot of WBD in the chat. I want to remind everybody when you're putting symbols in there, for your benefit and for ours on our visualizer up here, make sure you type $ and then the symbol, jump in the chat, hit that subscribe button. It's the subs only chat. But Beyond Meat up there, Nerve, Amazon, Apple, GSIT, Tesla.
Look at this.
I'm going to do a bit of a refresh. Let's restart it right now. It's 10 o'clock. Why not? The opening range is hit, and then all new symbols will come in there. GME, of course, that'd be the first one that comes in. See IFR as well. Nerve. So yeah, keep them bringing in. I want to see what the names are that you guys are interested in. Just wanted to mention that WBD, there is no actual deal price. There's been speculation. I've seen a few articles that have said offers being prepared at 20, but there is no actual offer at $20. It just happens to be trading there. The article I read said that. So just watch out for this. Again, there's no specific deal price on that Warner Brothers. Just speculation. They're ready for a deal. Still going to work to play this short. See if we can't get that low of the day coming through. I feel like we've gotten the right move so far in SMR. But I did miss the third time. There was a third salvo at VWAP. I was waiting at the same price as before because we kept getting it at 41.25, and this time it curled it just underneath 41. So missed it by that much. Still flat bottom break potential here on SMR, down 9%. The only news here in SMR was just it was a price target upgrade, and there was also a downgrade on the stock. So it was kind of dueling of the feats, but I kind of like the short side either way. I don't care about what the analysts say, and it was just a technical trade into the downside. And Beyond Meat lost the volume weighted average price. I've only traded 3 names, 1 for 3. Beyond Meat loses VWAP, so I tried at VWAP. If it can't hold it, not touching that stock. I consider it to be a gapper, and when gappers lose the volume weighted average price, I'm hands off.
All right, and yeah, so a couple different names being traded there today. I'm really debating getting back into SMR here. We had just sold that thing, and I was telling Joe earlier, I was telling Neil all yesterday, of course, and all you guys, we were able to get that out at 57 somehow that day. It was hit right there on the show, and all we did was just support and resistance hit. I mean, I was sitting here talking about how frothy these markets are, and then we saw that level. It was this day. It was right here, this day, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to put it just a bit higher than where we were. We get as high as 57.50s, but I just offered 57, got it out, and now it's come back in. I'm debating reloading that right down there because, I mean, that's basically like making, I guess 30 or 30% or so in 3 or 4 days. So I think that that's probably worth it to do that. We were able to cash out kind of same ways there. The TQs really did come back in to a nice level there. So we have less than, actually just about half on right now. Came back into some areas yesterday where we saw a little bit of concern. Again, I just trying to like let the winners win and the losers try to be managed a bit. So we'll take out half right there. Now we'll see if we can reload it if it does get back up. But I don't think this time we're going to wait for 108. I don't want to give all these profits away. So if the short's going to be right, we've already, you know, sort of, I'm going to take advantage of this move down again right now on this. But if the shorts are going to be right, then we do need to, you know, have a look at some of the plan that we're doing. There it is. We'll take a 90 out right there on it. Sorry, 91 out there on the TQs as it just continues to dump city a little bit. It's almost $5 now in the money on AMD. So, so far so good here as it continues to bleed. Wow. All right, maybe we can get that. I don't know. I'm going to put a bid right here in the 80s. There it is. We bid 84. We got it. We're also bidding 60s. Let's see if it goes down. We're at almost 1.5 our daily goal. So far so good there. And I'm only talking like that for you guys, just to know that if you put on shares, you put on the risk, and you have the trades, this is a couple days now in a row where we say, okay, we're at our levels, we're this and we're that. So day trading again for the first half hour, very, very profitable one more time here today. And that's despite me getting spanky on SoFi. So yeah, don't really like that stock too much today. The only L on the board for me, but like I said, man, I've made about 2.5x on AMD that we wind up losing there on SoFi. So far, so good. Let's go over to Adara.
S&P 500 creating a little bit lower here. This is the 15-minute chart. We're now poised for our third straight red 15-minute candle here, and we're actually taking out pre-market lows as well for the S&P 500. It's a bit of a rough start to the day, but certainly an interesting week, that's for sure. Sure, we don't have much economic data beyond some Fed speak throughout the day, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent speaking at 3 p.m., but we do have, excuse me, lots of earnings on watch. General Motors among them here, so I can't pull up that chart right now, but beating here on adjusted earnings and sales for GM, Philip Morris, PM, GE, General Electric, RTX, and LMT Lockheed Martin are amongst the other names that reported this morning. Let's talk here about Warner Brothers Discovery as well, WBD. This name has been mentioned in the morning show, and for good reason, because nice pop to the upside here. So NBC reporting that Netflix and CMCSA or Comcast are among the parties interested in a potential Warner Brothers acquisition. Then we have Apple on watch, nice push to the upside yesterday and continuing that, briefly making new all-time highs earlier today. A couple of positive analyst notes after yesterday's rally, including Wells Fargo with this $290 price target. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content as we send you back to the guys.
Disconnected like every now and then. Thank you very much, Sarah Dara. I'm still looking at the same name. This Beyond Meat. And we've got a couple of super chats I'm going to get to, but Beyond Meat has now held $2. So as long as it holds 2 and can get back above VWAP, it would also be breaking trend if it breaks the volume weighted average price. But we did have a couple of super chats. One, Willis Addison, thank you. Gold taking a breather today on a pullback. It's not the first day that it's taking a breather. And the same thing with silver. We'll have a look at gold. I know you were looking at gold earlier. Vaughn Clark, this is a name we don't really talk about very much. Ford. Long 40 says, Ed Sox asks what y'all think. I'm going to guess that's more of a sympathy play to GM. This is General Motors up for a split second. It still said Beyond Meat, so I almost freaked out. 13% to the upside. Great guide. Rising tide sometimes is able to lift all ships. The key thing with Ford is it's back above that $12 level that it failed to break out of before. Technically, it looks like it has some room to get to the top, but I kind of think GM's a fade at 67. So it's hard for me to, if I'm thinking GM's a fade at 67 and Ford's up on sympathy, then at some point I'd be trying to ring the register over the previous high. at GM's previous high. And as I said with General Motors, great guide, great beat. It's now $1 away from that 67 level, which I promised at some point I would show you guys. Come on, monthly chart. There we go. There is the high from back in January.
Oh,
is that really January? It's literally January 1st. Well, if we get up there, I'm fading this at 67 on GM, so I would think Ford probably catches the top two.
All right, we are fruit salad. I mean, AMD right now is the one. So, yeah, I don't. You know, we don't really play favorites around here. Some days it's AMD, some days it's Nvidia, some days it's Tesla, some days it's Apple. But every day is fun day, and yeah, we did it again. We put it up, man. We put it up all the time, and we put up our sticky note. And today we had AMD written on it as the second trade idea. We have SoFi as our #1 idea, and we lost on SoFi. Okay, but on AMD now, our whole day is just stone cold chilling right now with AMD. Let me check out what some of the banks are doing right here. Let's just do a little bit of a recap here right now today. Man, I woke up with my eye was really sore today. I put some good old lube up in there.
Is that still from the...
Now it feels, no, but I think I must have been rubbing it or something overnight. So I don't know. It wasn't. I'm going to go get it checked out during after the show here. Okay, so Google, I feel fine, but just feels a little bit more blurry than normal. I think it's just, hopefully it's just part of the recovery. But anyways, today, not great for healthcare technology names. I mean, if I'm looking anywhere in the red zone here.
Where's J&J?
Yeah, bad. Well, I don't know, bad. It's at 192, but still only down 1%. So not so bad for today. For J&J.
I was considering a buy on that, but I don't know.
Okay, yeah. What was it? Michael Nosh, I think, looked at J&J as a breakout, so we can look at that in a minute. So yeah, it might be a good little look there. So thanks for bringing that up. We'll have a look. Valero, the energy space there, which I still got one car that takes fuel, so I'm still looking at that all the time. But right now, yeah, nice downside play there for these names. Coming through, electronic technology led by the king. I'm calling Apple the king now, not Nvidia. Apple right there. So although Apple's still #2 in market cap, surpassed yesterday Microsoft. They're near 4 trillion, 3.69 or something like that, trillion for Apple, and something similar to that for here, maybe if I just click on it, it says, oh, there it is, 3.92. So almost 4 right there trillion now for Apple. So as that comes in, and then if I could ever see Microsoft on here, although it's probably not electronic technology, maybe it's under a software or something company. Others, you get technology services, okay. So we'll see what's Microsoft's 3.84 trillion. So you go back and forth there, but right now, Apple takes that over. Oracle, man, like another good sell out of nowhere that I put on was Oracle, so we're pretty happy with that. All right, Neil, were you long or short IBIT?
I just got out of IBIT. I just got it in front of the high of the day. I waited for it to get to the pre-market. It's not the pre-market high. This is the opening range high. Check that. The pre-market high is up here. My golden price on IBIT was 62.5. I traded at VWAP, and then I traded it at the pre-market high. It just broke that. So I got to wait in here for about 62.25 to 62.5 to take another shot at it. The other thing that's happened, GM just broke 67, which is putting it on a collision course with that, 66. Which is putting on a collision course with that 67 level. So about $1 away. If it breaks the trend, which is now a new trend because it's putting a pretty steep one, it's a pretty parabolic move anyways, then I'll jump into only a trend break trade. When the stock is trending like this, gotta let it break that trend before we jump back into it. SMR did not, it's still, I mean, it broke 40, went about, I see about 9 or 10 cents, and then right back in. So this might be a reload at that volume weighted average price, but still about 50 cents away from getting into VWAP to try to take a third shot here at SMR short. So GM looks like it's GM, or if IBIT can get past that 62 or into that 62 quarter area for the short. So it's either that or General Motors, at least for myself. Let us know what you guys are watching. So when I went up and looked at the visualizer, the new name was actually Lululemon. Everything else was all the same.
Lulu, is that going up?
I was just about to check. I saw Nerve in here as well, but Lululemon continues to rally up another 4 points today. Nice bounce off the lows. If you zoom out to a monthly chart, it's bouncing off the 200 period on a monthly chart on Lululemon. We did get a super chat. Can you put it on the board? Because I didn't see it there, Fabian. There we are. NKLR, what the heck is happening? I don't know NKLR, but I do know Go Jay. So thank you, Thomas Kondo. My voice is holding up incredibly well, considering what last night was like. Because at one point, like, my wife was like, you realize you just screamed, like her ear was hurting. I'm like, my bad, that was right in your ear. But George Springer, like, what do you want me to say? What's going on? It's down 13%. I don't know the story here. Watch out for, oof. Darren knows the story, and, I have a monthly chart up, that's why. I'll put it back to the daily chart. This could be flat bottom break at 11, but also under 1 million in volume. That's the bigger thing. Not much of a day trade in here. So, yeah, new fresh lows on NKLR. These are all-time lows because it just came to market. Adara?
Yeah, so it looks like, I just looked into this a little bit. Apparently this one just went public as of October 10th. That's according to FinViz. I'm trying to do more research on this name, but either way, Terra Innovatum seems like it's pretty new to being a publicly traded company. On October 17th, so this is not a story from today, it apparently filed a new investor presentation. This is, and I want to clarify, the only entry for this on Benzinga in its history. So there's unfortunately very little to find out here for NKLR, but I will tell you, I also, like Neil, I noticed the low volume. It's about 750,000 shares traded on the day. Market cap, $64.8 million. Share float, about 20 million shares, so nothing super significant here for NKLR. If I do see anything else, I'll let you know. But potential, just a nuclear move, it looks like here. Back to you.
Did you say nuclear?
Yeah, I think so. I do want to get back into SMR at some point, so we keep talking about that one. So I had a new position here. It's IBIT, which is my newest position, and that's why I was asking you about what you were doing. But we'll wait to see if we do get an opportunity here to short more. I was going to go at this 50-period moving average, so I'm actually sitting right now with IBIT at 62.20 to get a little bit more. It's right here. I mean, I can almost buy it now. Okay, there it goes. We got it. So I'm going to use 62.50, man. If we break above, and this is that level that we talked about early on. It's actually exactly what we talked about. There's 62.50. If we break above that at 62.40, then I want to get out, man. IBIT's on one right now, and it's starting to rip higher. So, I actually had another fill there. Okay, so we have a little bit more shares than we had thought right now, but that's okay. Just about a unit and a half right now. We're short at 15s for
Just
this.
for one thing,
yeah, go,
yesterday's low is exactly 36. So, on IBIT, I say that at 62.36 in here. So this is the target area. I might nibble at the 36. And I don't know what just happened to all the position board stuff, but that'll get up there in a second. The other thing that's happening is Tesla. Sorry to interrupt, but I just want to jump on the offer. Warner Brothers is open. That's not a new story. Tesla's trying to break the volume weighted average price. I was favoring longs into 450, but it needs to break VWAP. Someone said it's ready to go. I think it's ready to go if it can break the 445 and find some buyers out and about and above that level. I'm not seeing it yet on Tesla, but it's certainly looking a little bit stronger than it was before. Market's still underneath the volume weighted average price as well. And Angelo, yes. Amazon is gone. Strength is in Amazon and Apple if you're looking at the big cap tech names. 2.5% now on Amazon. What outage? Who cares? As we said yesterday, it just seemed to remind everybody how big they are. I shouldn't say how good they are on daily outage, but how big they are. Everything was affected, which means you know how important they must be.
Okay, here we go. Oh man, like $5 now. I mean, we did this yesterday, and it's working out again for us right now. And the TQs, man, we just took some more profit right here at 107. I mean, we now have 10% left of our TQ position. We now have like less than 10% left of AMD. I mean, we got to ring the register when we make these moves to the downside, and we are just starting right here with IBIT. So let's wait to see if this can also start to pan out just a little bit here for us. Netflix could be something to talk about. flat on the day. We'll see tomorrow. It won't be like that, obviously, but with earnings coming through, I like Netflix to break a little bit higher.
Netflix sometimes is pretty flat.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what the implied move is. We'll have to look that up, but it's probably 4 or 5% at least there for Netflix, which is a $1,200 name.
5.5.
You know, you're going to move at least a couple $100, I would think, tomorrow, but we'll wait to see. Maybe not a couple hundred, but we'll wait to see. Wow, I just saw someone post in the chat there. I'm not on this, by the way, today. Fannie Mae. Wow, what a move. This was just at $10, and I was debating buying some down there at $10. What a move there for Fannie. Again, just kind of a Donald Trump play here, trying to, you know, put these back into the market, make them public. Once again, it's a public stock, but, you know, recapitalizing. $10 to $12.50. Yeah, what a move there. I haven't even looked at this the last couple of days.
And even with the pullback, look at it hold the trend on Fannie Mae.
What, upside?
Yeah, if you
yeah,
think
I know, like right here.
Yeah. Like from that.
Well, this is why we look at the 200 period.
Clean.
It's broken the 50 a couple times, so that's why that wasn't like a screaming buy signal, but you know, nice move down. And I don't know what sort of sparked that. There's always talk about Fannie and Freddie. So good moves there. All right, so our TQs, I'm actually just going to stop out right now at 28. If it comes back in, there it is. I just want to end this trade and regroup. So they're good trade, man. We'll spin the money for that one. So positive on the TQs, super. We don't have to talk too much about AMD. Super positive on that one, and negative on SoFi. SoFi hasn't done much. We did get that super chat, or someone had mentioned there about hitting SoFi when it was down there at 28.15. So that was obviously a pretty sweet bottom that was put in there. So congratulations to you for that trade. But yeah, SoFi right now, just kicking around, and it looks like that was, I don't want to say, there was no mistakes being made, I don't think. We tried 28.50, it just, the second time, so we got stopped out there, then we rebought it, was able to take out a little bit, but then we got stopped out on the way back in. And we realized that this was a problem, so we started getting out in the mid-30s, which sort of helped us with our push down. Looks like crypto, like we'll get stopped out when that breaks 110 or so, it looks like. It is come back in though now, so we're happy with what IBIT is doing right now, but looking for a little bit of a lower take here. I'm going to stop some of the bleeding here in the 20s, see if I can put a bid at 21 and get out, but that's what I'm going to try right now. And if it does fall back in, we didn't get our 40s. I'm actually sitting at, well, I'm sitting at 43s. That's okay. Well, that would explain why I didn't get 40s. So we'll see if it comes back up to that level, and then we'll get that. So yeah, so far so good, really. What's going on over there?
Oh no, I just quick little adjustment there on Tesla, because it broke 445. But I had the incorrect amount of shares, so I had to quickly punch out. I think I got flats on it mostly. But Tesla is back to the volume weighted average price. But the weird thing is, it's doing its breakout as the market's failing its move into the overnight lows. Call that overnight low support on the Nasdaq, and then you have the lower high being put in. So it's not the opportune time for any kind of breakout trading, I do think. But you know, I had the order at 445 for Tesla. It's broken trend, which is good. I think we need to hold on to 444.5. So I just had to do a quick adjustment to get some out, because if the out's going to be under here, then I wanted to have less at the 445 level. I think I'm playing into this 446 into 447 area. So look to buy the dip, hopefully off the volume weighted average price. There's Tesla trying to join Apple and Amazon is the things that are relatively strong, because look, I haven't looked at Microsoft. I haven't looked at, actually I haven't looked at Google today. But Apple holding view up. Apple up up a half a point. The only thing it's not doing is breaking away from yesterday's top. It's broken the high and hit an all-time high a couple of times here on Apple, but every single time it gets to yesterday's top, topping tail candles. 100% of these are topping tail candles. Every single break of 264.5 or so is getting faded here on Apple. But you know what? If you keep testing it and putting in higher lows, eventually you break it out. So look for Apple to hold these higher lows and maybe take this market higher. We're not going higher without Apple joining the party. It led us yesterday. I think it's going to have to do some heavy lifting again.
Okay, well, we got our IBIT trade, so okay, we will give some back, obviously, if this, okay, it looks like it is going to go through. We got to make sure that we are on the right prices here. as it's going to take out. Let me just cancel this 50 just real quick because it's going to break me out right now. It's a nice little quick move up right now on IBIT. So I just wanted to make sure that we're not caught. Like, it's just breaking through 110 now. So let's just see if it battles with this level, and then we'll figure getting out. But here, okay, so now it looks like it does want to take it here. IBIT, nice upside play here right into yesterday's levels as we take down. Let's try. Let's just go one more here, 62.70. So it's just breaking now right through that 10. We got a little excitement there. We didn't stop out where we should have at 62.50. Sometimes we got to make a couple decisions, and I just wanted to see what it was going to do, if it is going to hold this 10,000 basically. So let's just see, give it a second right now to settle down. So we'll take that top out, and then if we do break above let's just put 62.70. Whoopsies, 62.71. We'll break out if it does get there, get going back up to the upside. So looks like we did okay here on preserving some of this, but I'm going to cancel some of my lower bids now on IBIT and see, okay, there it comes, 51. So a little bit of a reload there, short. We wanted to see how much it trusted that 10,000 area, and it looks like for now it's trying to hold it. But if it does break back down below, we should get a little bit of a whoosh moment. We're only short now at 42s, so not the end of the world here, but would like to see a little bit of a down push here off of 10,000 naturally. So if that can happen, then good on you. But so far, not the greatest on this IBIT short. But let's just see. Look there. So it just holds 10,000 right here on the bottom, and yeah, that's my trade is just basically
110,000.
Yeah, 110,000. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm assuming most.
Dude,
people,
I've been calling Ethereum 45,000 or 40,000 instead of 4,000.
No, I call it 10,000 there on purpose because I mean I'm just saving air. You know, I don't want to say one. I could say 110,000. If anybody thinks Bitcoin's at 10,000, yeah, but
if Bitcoin was at 10,000, anarchy. No, actually, you know what the funny thing is? I don't think it would be anarchy. Like, if other things went down that much, there'd be anarchy, but Bitcoin could do that without a complete breakdown of society. Yeah. No, I'm being dead honest about it. Like, if the Qs went down to the equivalent of, 100%, like 90% from where they are, we would have it would be anarchy. Bitcoin would not be anarchy if we went to 10,000, Joe. That's not true. No. If the Qs went down that much, like Bitcoin, it would be bad. It would signal a lot of bad things, and it would be a lot of pain. But that's not anarchy.
If Bitcoin went to 10,000,
yeah, that's not.
People would be jumping off bridges.
No, but that's not anarchy. If the Qs and the SPY go down that much, then you're talking about like that's worse than the financial crisis.
Yeah. People be.
Anyways, that's a totally different discussion, maybe for another time. All right.
There goes IBIT. So IBIT just took out 10.5, so we got out of IBIT.
All right. And now I am almost exactly flat on the day. Very, very slightly. I've traded 4 stocks and like 2 for 4, which usually should mean that I'm up. If I go 2 for 4, I should be up, but I'm only slightly up. Tesla runs right to its prior day close.
The market is really
and
going.
Finds a curl. I think the problem is I came in short biased, so when you do that, I'm going to do things like immediately trim when I take a breakout trade and then maybe get out too early. But Tesla, we got it breaking trend, but we got it breaking trend late. Like, it breaks trend down here at 44, and I'm in at 45. So that doesn't mean I'm going to try to eke an extra dollar out of it because I got into the move $1 late. It doesn't work that way. Like, I'm going to play it to resistance regardless, and then move on to the next opportunity as we do see it. But wow, the Nasdaq is really getting going. What the heck? Oh, great. On my drop down, there's actually QQQ.CN.
Yep.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Canadian market.
I love the drop-down menu. It makes it easier to type in symbols, but sometimes it screws you. This is the Qs. Almost green, but breaking trend and going up through the volume-weighted average price. The market is powering back higher. I want to look for the next trade in Tesla, but I cannot forget about GM. General Motors, great earnings beat.
Get down.
No questions asked. Like, everything is good about the report. But it's getting very close to that 67 high. Now it's 60. It's just cruising. Just hit 66 and a third. Trend is pretty strong, but it's nothing parabolic. So when that trend breaks, I'm still looking for the fade off of that 67 high there on, and just zoom out to a higher time frame chart on General Motors. I would suspect Ford might run into trouble at that price as well. So market looking strong. Let's go over to the desk, see what Adara has for us.
Time for small caps. We'll start here with Minerva Neurosciences NERV. This one had a really nice pop here off the open. They also initially popped pre-market announcing up to $200 million in financing to advance their schizophrenia treatment candidate here through a confirmatory trial and NDA resubmission. I looked up the float on this, about just under 6 million shares, so relatively small float for NERV. Then we have IBIO, about a 20 million share float. This company is set to present new clinical data on its one of its antibodies at upcoming scientific conferences, including Obesity Week. We also have Oppenheimer initiating coverage on the stock with a $5 price target and outperform rating. It's worth noting, currently trading around $1.25. So $5 price target, quite hefty here for IBIO from Oppenheimer. Last but not least, this one needs no introduction. It's Beyond Meat, BYND. Last Monday to be exact, about 8 days ago, the company announced a debt restructuring plan that was initially not super well received because of the potential dilution for shareholders. But now the stock getting a lot of influx of retail attention. Last 3 days, sharply to the upside every day, and it has an over 60% short float. BYND, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Back to you. Oh, and we're going to thank our friends at Trade the Pool. 2 seconds here. We're going to take our friends at Trade the Pool. Thank you so much to Trade the Pool for sponsoring this portion of the show. For too long, trading meant risking your own money. You're never having enough to start. The fear of losing. That's what kept so many traders on the sidelines. But that's changing. Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets. With its limited risk trading model, traders use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit that profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. No fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading powered by Trade the Pool. So just visit tradethepool.com or scan that QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation.
Just put in some eye drops. Thank you for whoever that was reminding me there on the chat. We do have a new position right now, though, so I can see clearly the market, but there goes TQQs to the downside, so now 30 cents in the money again on this one, and we hold out. It's unfortunate because IBIT just comes roaring back down now again, so, but that's okay. We took a shot there. We wound up losing on IBIT. Boo-hoo, woe is me, but, you know, we could have had that, and we didn't, so that's kind of not good. Right there, should have done better on that one. But we tried to hold it as long as we could, and then eventually, you know, you get stopped out. A disciplined trader has to have an out, and that's how we keep, like we said, that's how we keep our days where they are. Obviously giving something back today on that play, but well, that's okay. We just, there it is. Yes, that was a good one. Hit the money one more time for us. And then this is now really starting to print, man. Damn you, IBIT. Why did you have to do that to us? You made us give some of that back. But there goes the TQs, man. Nice little push down again. I'll take a fill here in the mid-30s. Again, I just put a bid there, 36. We'll take that. My next fill is 21s, which is the 50-period moving average. Well, that's actually, I've got to change that. It's at 26s. What am I doing? I'm going to put a bid now at 28s. We'll get out another piece there, and then we'll cancel our 21s. There it is. We just, okay. Wow, there we go, man. Nice move downside now in the futures. Screw you, Bitcoin, but that's okay. There it comes right back. Give me those 05s. Yes, Neil. We are right back to our daily goal right there again. We bring in the pain right now. The bringer of rain. Shout out to Josh Donaldson and his failed attempt at a World Series, but it doesn't matter. We're in the World Series now. There goes AMD to the downside right now. Bang, Neil. Wow, we are right back in this one, and there it is. All right. Nice move to the downside right now. AMD, huge move down into 236. Man, this is $6. And not only that, we just rang crazy registers on the TQs, man. This name was really a prof. We have a lot of shares still. I'm just layering these out right now, taking these bids. Didn't realize how many shares I actually have. So we'll take some more bids out here at 10s and get going. There it goes, man. Huge move to the short side there for the TQQs, and a nice move to the downside. And as Mike Peter Ryder says, and you copied me with that, but that's a fact, Jack. Right there, Mike Peter Ryder. We're doing it here big time right now. It's too bad that we, you know, lost out on that IBIT, but for now, man, we got it right back. We got everything back. We got it back with the TQs and AMD, but we lost on SoFi and IBIT today, so unfortunately, those two names will be red. But
speaking of IBIT,
yeah.
So I'm going right by my last profit out on IBIT was right here at 62.2, and that ends up holding trend. It's just breaking the trend line. So I got it as it was breaking the trend line, but it's going to close underneath the trend line. This could be the back end of the trade. Tried to sneak in here off of the highs, but it's breaking trend as we speak. So jump back into that. But the other thing that's breaking trend is Amazon. Ooh. Amazon up 2.5%, but this feels like the spot. 222 is also a bit of a thing. I'll get to a higher time frame in a second.
Wow.
But this is breaking trend as we speak here on Amazon. So the time is now. It's an all-day trend, but it's only 10:30. So it's not the same as an all-day trend at the end of the day, which to me is like the ultimate A+ trade. This will be like a B-, but playing back into VWAP. I like mean reversion plays, and when you have this clean and upward trend that breaks, my out is the prior bar high, and the target is the volume weighted average price here on Amazon. So market heading back in, did jump back into some IBIT, although I did not get that last fill on IBIT. But I think we can head all the way back into VWAP here. Here comes the turn. Going to get some 221s, and VWAP is at 220.20 here on Amazon. It was strong, but starting to fade, kind of like everything else. And good thing we got out of Tesla.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, Tesla, that ends up being 446.5, ends up being the local high in Tesla. That said, still holding VWAP. Tesla still looks like it could be a little bit stronger than most here as the market bounces off lows. Let's see if Tesla can hold that 445. This was the name I did favor longs on.
Oh, man. What's up, Eduardo and everybody in the chat? This is why we come in every day, man. We love coming in and trading here. The market is definitely a wealth generator. It can be wealth, take away wealth, no doubt about that. But yeah, it's too bad. Like if we had just, and again, we have to stop. We have too many shares. You know, we have to stop out because if Bitcoin keeps running there, it's too bad because it went right into our levels there. Just probably not proper. Well, I could have held it. It doesn't matter. I didn't get stopped. I just stopped myself out. It's not like it was a risk anything. Too bad. I'm glad that you have it. But yeah, 75 cents. We're $7 in the money on AMD. I mean, so that's for me holding the day. Yeah, why not long the SQQ? Yeah, good question there by HTX Trader in the chat. I just always choose TQQ because I just prefer to be short. That's really all. It just I just prefer to be short if the market's going down and long if the market's going up. So my buying power is a lot. So I don't I could take 20,000 shares of this or something. So it's not like a big deal for me as far as buying power. We're trading on prop floor. It's not like a flex on the account. It's just, you know, I've earned what we have. But yeah, there's the move down. Anyways, that's too bad, man. It's too bad about IBIT, but this is a good. I'm glad you have it.
Oh, there was a super chat about Oscar we missed apparently.
Oh, was there? Is that ripping too?
Apologies to Safe. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Fabian.
To the upside. Oh boy, I mean things are working out real well, man. Oscar's a big stock not big stock, but it's a stock that I have. Yeah, 21. Wow. I mean things are just working out, man. We recently bought Lulu, we bought Oscar. Now you're gonna tell me that Target's probably up today. Yeah, Oscar, you wanna talk about the hourly? I mean, on the daily, you know, we like that stock right there, breaking 2150. Let's see if that can start to get going here. OSCR, here, I'll just change this to an hourly right now. This is our E-signal chart. So let's just put this into an hourly chart right here. 60 minutes, if I'm not correct. Good show. Yeah, I don't.
Hi.
No, I mean, it kind of looks the same to me here. The 2150 doesn't look maybe as good here. You're still trying to get up to that $22 mark there. But yeah, the trend right here, I mean, you're still on a nice, I mean, it kind of was thinking about breaking the trend here. But yeah, still a nice hold there from 19.
If you put a higher time frame chart on Oscar, I think is even.
Well, we have the daily, but yeah, I mean, you can even.
I think the trend on. Sorry, I'm just pointing at your chart.
Yeah, I know you're pointing at the chart, but yeah, there it is. I mean, this is the daily. I still think we got to get to that. I mean, this 2150 is looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's like uptrend into a flat top break.
Yeah. So Michael talked about this yesterday. So I really like Oscar. I'm not getting anything out on this one. I think this one has many more dollars to go higher, many more percentage points. You know, target area. if I told you guys like 40 or 50, you would think I'm crazy. So I won't tell you that. And if my wife was watching, she'd tell you I already am. So, all right, $7 now as this continues to go lower, man. We're here every day. We also have $1 right now in the TQs. I mean, we have $1 now in the TQQs. So that's going to be something that I didn't think was going to happen. I wish we didn't dump out of it all there at 107, but we still have on board about 25% of that one. So yeah, wow, what a day, man. What a day this is turning out to be. We tweeted about AMD a long time ago. It's actually on our levels here, 243. So yeah, we got 242. And now this is really starting to tank for us here as it just continues to go, man. What's up, Pathik, and what's up, everybody in the chat? This has just been, again, another pretty epic day. It's too bad I lost anyways on IBIT. Because now, well, it's still actually hovering, right? It's not, I could get back in instead of keep worrying about it. But yeah, good trade there. And then let me check out Target. We're long like 80, I'll have to double check. I don't know if it's 88.50 or 89.50. All right, man. What's up, Money Mitch, man? Let your winners ride. We've talked about Target here. I could go find it on my Twitter when I mentioned that we're starting to go long Target. So right now, man, $5 up or $4 up now on Target. Let's just see if this goes right now. But yeah, so far so good. Let's get out another piece of AMD. I don't know how long, bless you. I don't know how long this market wants to do this for, but we'll take another piece out on AMD and we'll wait to see what winds up happening with TQQs. Salud.
Hopefully a little bit. I had muted myself to sneeze there. Hopefully it lasts a little bit longer, halfway to the volume weighted average price on Amazon there, as we just, like I said, you don't necessarily see that where you have like that clean of a morning trend on Amazon. And I promised I would at least show you guys the 222 level. Like Amazon, like this is one of those, yeah, you know it's strong. I know it's strong, but I got to take it. 222, support to resistance, and then we come in, hit 222, and break the trend line at the same time. So I'm playing this one back to the volume weighted average price. Halfway was down in here to 221, which we just took some out, and let's see where else it can go. I still believe in you, Tesla, but I want this holding back above that 445 area. So Tesla, a bit of a diddle in the middle, kind of like yesterday. Like Tesla, here, let's look at a better chart. Tesla really yesterday broke at that 440 on like a huge rally the day before, on last week on Friday, and then went 450 to 440 and back and forth. So we're doing the same thing. I still think you can get a 450 breakout. It just might not be today. We're going to have that whenever it does break, is what it is. So if it's going to be an inside day, I'd rather play it on strength into 450 than try to catch a falling knife. The futures are trend down. Tesla gets back to the lows. I don't think I'm going to like it. So hold on to that Amazon. I did jump back into IBIT for the fourth time, essentially 1 for 4 on IBIT, but I'll be down on that stock. It's still holding red, but 24-hour markets don't necessarily care about that percentage. I just look at it as finally breaking the upward trend. And so the only break of trend trade is here. I was shorted on the downtrend and then caught it off this level, played it into the prior low. This is a trend breakdown on IBIT. Actually, don't know why I wasn't bidding 62.3. Should be bidding 62.3, that prior support, and then look for the volume weighted average price. So I think we have a chance to bounce. It's the Tesla that I want back into the long though. This is to me the one, if it can break out of this volume weighted average price malaise that it's in. This and Apple. I mean, Apple also looks pretty good as well, but I think Tesla has a good shot to go green for sure. And Grant Ratcliffe.
What's up, Grant?
CRM is CR him.
Yeah.
That'll play. Hey, we just started, and we mentioned this, I think, yesterday. This isn't going to do anything. I mean, 2.5%, I don't really care about it for a swing trade. Like, 2.5% is good, but, like, I want this at the 200 period and, 270 and then 300 are the first two targets for a third each on CRM, because I got it this one at the close, essentially. Well, just before the close. I do like this, breaking that 50 period. It's got a double bottom down at 230. Nice consolidation breakout here on CRM, and as usual, they're saying all the right things about AI. You do want to see some follow through at some point. I just like the way the chart finally looks. I don't like trying to catch the bottom. I like when you see the bottom and then you break the trend off of the bottom in here, and that's what CRM did. Love the continuation, up 3% today. Let's get to that 200 period at 270. That's my target.
Yeah, good call. I really like that CRM, CFM. All right, so go back into a name that it's too bad. Like SoFi just now finally starting to break. I did want to say on IBIT, I'm going to go short if we break this 30 mark right there. But for right now, yeah, it's going up, so we're not short it there at all. And like we said, man, we only had less than 20% of our TQs, so now that it's coming back up into VWAP again, we can try it. I'm gonna wait though. It's just the market already had to move up, then it moved down, then we shorted that move. Like, could not have done any better than that. It right up to the 200 period moving average. So that was a good one. Now we're at VWAP. I'm gonna want to give it one more time there. So this stop that we have is 107.70. We put a stop up here at 108. So if it breaks that, then we'll get out. But I'm still trying to get a little bit more into that trade as well.
Did you see Broadcom today?
Is Broadcom getting tanked? Gold, by the way, we have this short written down as well, and gold is just, for the first time I think ever, we have it written down on the sticky note as a short, but it didn't, no pop-up. So next time I think when we want to go short on gold, we maybe just do it right away, and then just play the momentum here. Down 6% is GLE today. So. Yeah, no, Broadcom down as well. Yeah.
I was going to say Broadcom down 2 points. I was just looking at the old heat map. It's not the old heat, it's just the heat map. And I mean, outside of it, like AMD's not as big. AMD's down the most, and 2.4%, but like in Micron's actually down 2.2%. But when you consider like weighting in the indexes, Broadcom down 2. It's really just the Apple story and the Amazon story, like Amazon 2.7, 2.4, and then Apple 0.5. But it's what stood out there as we're about to go to Adair and actually talk about Sector Watch was Broadcom. And when you see something leading the way to the downside, I was just talking about a trend break of Amazon breaking an uptrend to go down. Well, if this can break the downtrend to go up, it's exactly the kind of thing that can help confirm a potential break back higher. I'm still looking at Tesla to be the thing for me because it's the only long that I've had, and it's trying to get back above VWAP, but I want to see it close above VWAP first. Let's go to the desk with Adara.
Take a look here at our sector board, and I want to talk here about the strength in some other sectors before we get to technology. Finance actually having some nice moves to the upside. Visa and MasterCard both about 1%. Retail trade being led by Amazon. AMZN really shaking off any concerns there about that outage yesterday with AWS. Then we've got consumer services strong across the board here. Royal Caribbean, RCL doing quite nicely. Disney also up 1.5%. Transportation, pretty strong. Commercial services, pretty strong. Health technology, producer manufacturing, a little bit more mixed. And consumer non-durables is the sector, I think, where you can most see the impacts of earnings. Coca-Cola sharply up here, about 3.5%. And Philip Morris down almost 10% on earnings. So certainly a mixed picture there. Now let's move on to electronic technology. A lot of the larger names within these sectors are going to be a little bit weaker. Nvidia, Broadcom, AMD all down at least 1% here in electronic technology, though RTX up more than 8% on strong earnings. Then we have technology services. Palantir and Google both red. Microsoft and Meta both a bit flat. But then you've got CRM, which was being praised earlier for its strength. I looked into this, no news, but as Neil mentioned, a technical breakout there. So long story short, even with tech being a little bit weaker, it's mostly the larger names in the sector pushing the market a little bit lower. The rest of the sectors generally seem to be fairly strong. Back to you. And thank you to our friends at Woman Boss, because empowered women change the world, and you can help make it happen. The Woman Boss trains and mentors women and girls across Africa to lead, innovate, and thrive. Since 2018, we have reached over 10,000 women and girls. Your donation today can help launch the next great entrepreneur. Scan the QR code on your screen now and join us in building a brighter future. Back to you.
As soon as possible.
All right.
Thank you very much, Sarah Dara. And this is not, no one's going to care about this except for me and maybe anyone in Toronto. But I was talking about like the nonsensical nature of this WonderFi and Robinhood deal. Because Robinhood's buying these guys for 36 cents and it's supposed to close at the end of the year, and it's just been drifting down. So I said, forget this, I'm gonna buy into my personal account. I got the first fill there, and I bought maybe like 15% of what I would consider to be a full position. But I'm just gonna keep trying to pick up 30 cents and get a free 20% by the end of the year on the stock. And it hit it today. And it's not the first time that it's done this. So mad respect to you, SoFi. I don't know why it's happening, that's all. Like it's straight up a cash deal at 36 cents. And Robinhood, like it's chump change for Robinhood. Like that deal's closing. It's already got a bunch of approvals regulatory wise. So Anyways, back to the overall market, which is trying to crack VWAP. Tesla, there was just, so the second time that it broke through 45 or 445 here on Tesla, there was a kind of a, not a whale, but like a big order that broke it into 45.5, which I didn't want to chase. So I wasn't going to buy in that sort of like, I guess, euphoria up. I want to see this one actually hold. Like, it's just going kind of crazy here. Every time it breaks 445, 445 and a half, slams back down into VWAP. I want it closing at VWAP. I still feel like the overall market itself is rejecting some lower highs. There is a topping tail candle at VWAP on the Nasdaq and potentially a second one forming. So if that's going to be the case, then you got to be patient on some of those longs. I see Amazon still doing the same thing. It broke the trend. I want the volume weighted average price. I'd reload this if it wasn't as strong as it is. But it's one of the strongest stocks. Like, to me, a trend break either works or it doesn't. And if it's that strong, like IBIT, right? Like, I got the trend break, and because I never get in full unless it's closed underneath the trend line, I had to wait till it closed under the trend line and then try to get my price. So just being relatively patient with those two shorts, at least for now. RHawk, I'm glad you brought this one up because we should never ignore the visualizer. And I've seen a few people mention Nerve today. And much to my chagrin, I promise you Sharif is all over these. If Sharif's not on this one, then whatever, he'll be on this one. 285% to the upside, and it's above the volume-weighted average price. I'm pretty sure that follows the rules as a strong breakout trade. Right at the open, this one just shot. Like, look at this stock hold the volume-weighted average price. And as we usually say, if you're trading these, the pre-market is one of your best friends a lot of times. Like, and this is, like if you really just want to be buying VWAP in the pre-market and then just making sure because of liquidity, that you might have, make sure your broker has stop orders and all functionality for trading in the pre-market. I should always say that. Some brokers, they don't have all their keys available. They only allow certain types of stops. For us, it's basically no different. So I forget to say that, but you should always make sure that you have all that functionality for trading in the pre-market. But it holds VWAP really nicely in breaking out. So good shout out on Verve, or Nerve, I should say. I hope it keeps up for you. Just no one ever went broke taking profit on those types of names.
All right, we're still at our daily goal, but we were at 1.5 times before we took that SoFi trade. Sorry, it wasn't the SoFi trade, it was the IBIT trade. Right there. So we're going to wait to see. It's almost going to break right now, break below, and then we can go short because it's, I just want to get some sort of a confirmation. We could lose again if it does do that, but now at least if it breaks below 30s, we can use this 40 area that it's battling with right now as an out. So it's trying to break it right there. I want to see it break right into there, into that level right there. And then if and when that does happen, then I will be indicating a short on IBIT. So that's what I'm going to try right into there if that does come through. If not, like Neil said before, we don't have to mess around with stop orders or trigger them in if they don't fill. So that would be something. Gold right now down is it 7% there? I just saw someone say gold's extending. It was down 6, now 6.5% as gold gets nastier right now to the downside. Great opportunity to step in there, and I think buy. I really do think that. I do think that today might be one of those days where I'm not exposed to gold that much. I don't have that much exposure in this. I do think that there's a great opportunity to step in here and potentially take advantage of this dip down. We also talked about the miners as well, GDX right here. There's also GDXJ, which could be an opportunity as well to get the juniors in their GD. Yeah.
Oh, you said miners, so I'll include that one for you. But you have to hold only 1 week.
Only one, I don't, yeah.
1 week, this dip on gold or the miners, whichever one you like, Bitcoin or the VIX.
I have to buy.
So you got to buy and hold for 1 week.
I would buy VIX
right here
because I think that there's more volatility coming.
Shoot, I shouldn't have given you the VIX.
In the market. No, but even gold or Bitcoin, I would rather own gold.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
then maybe because I think volatility is coming.
No, I said that one because I was thinking VIX and
yeah. But the thing is that VIX is a good hedge because I'm long only.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If things are feeling
but
toppish and you're Well, I was just sort of thinking
Yeah,
the way I say
Bitcoin.
the week is like we're getting into earnings. We'll have Netflix earnings. We'll have Intel doesn't matter that much, but you're starting to get back in earnings, so it gets you a cycle of some of the bigger names starting to come through, but not all the way through earnings season. Was my thought.
I'm getting nervous. That's why I didn't buy the dip in Amazon, but I really like Amazon. I sold, like you guys know, I sold some Oracle, I sold some SMR. Like we sold some names that I sold some AMD that I thought were getting a little frothy here ahead of earnings. So I'm a little cautious heading into this season. The name that I think can break out is Softy. I think you can have
PayPal's at 70.
PayPal's at 70 again. Oh man, I really like PayPal. I think Softy has a good chance of going as being one of the next ones to get up there. If they come with another great report like they had right here, they had one of the best reports, and that was right on this day. You can go back, I had to move my, got to see when was that, July 30th. Microsoft nailed it, right? They went from 520 up to 560. It was like a 10% move on earnings. And since then, it's done nothing but fade back out. Like you might have missed that earnings, but then you got it right back, and it's right here, right now. So Microsoft, to me, is on a possible springboard here off the 50-period moving average. So that would be the one that I do like. And obviously Tesla, I still think Tesla's a great story long term, honestly, and I like that. I mean, especially with the strength there in GM today. Maybe some of the car market, the car market is maybe not as broken as maybe we had thought. And I mean, I saw yesterday, and look, don't at me, man, but at Ford Performance Center, where my daughter plays and the Maple Leafs play and all that kind of stuff, they're sitting in the lobby, they have a Mach-E, and I actually think it looks pretty good. The Ford,
that's what I should have checked.
The Mach-E. It's kind of like it's like a crossover type of thing. By the way, I guess you're out of IBIT. I was just noticing IBIT ripping.
Both of my shorts I just got up. There was a really cool, and I should have checked the model. There was a Ford, some kind of a giveaway raffle at the Jays game, but I was too focused on. Was it like it wasn't? If it's not the F-150, it's probably. No, dude. I was walking through a crowd, turned to my left, and saw it, and knew that it was a Ford. But then, like that was it. And I walked.
Yeah, it's probably a Mach-E.
I'm sure it was. Just very quickly before we go up to Adair, it's only 10:50. Three things happened. The first one is rounded bottom. We're breaking that VWAP on the Nasdaq again. That looks pretty strong. So I jumped out. It was different on IBIT. Here, I'll start with IBIT because I used a stop on IBIT. Right, like the stop's going to be at the high. I actually punched out. It was like 5 cents from my stop. But once I saw the futures doing what they're doing, I'm like, no, I'll just punch out and save myself the 5 cents on IBIT. And then I punched right out of Amazon as well, as it was holding like 220.80. So we got the sniper short on Amazon. But right now I'm like 3 for 5. It's 3 for 5 on symbols, but that's kind of like misleading because like one of the stocks I'm down on, like I've shorted 1, 2, 3, 4 times on IBIT and gone 1 for 4 on IBIT to be one of the down symbols. But like Amazon, I just took the one trade in Amazon, and I never got back in SMR.
Boo.
But SMR only. The thing about SMR is it's really just been the same 41.5. Like it's tried to break that 42, topping tail wick. There was multiple opportunities at the open to get it at that price, but you had like one good shot to get it the second time through on that. I think we're going to Adara, and then we'll come back and look at that Ford.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to take a look here at the U.S. dollar. So nice look here for the USD. Nice uptrend here from these lows. Now, again, we still have that level of resistance here at 99.5. Let's see if we can crack above it. Unfortunately, I don't have too much more to tell you guys with regards to economic data because we still don't really have very much. But again, Friday, let's see if we get that CPI print. Again, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which releases and is in charge of this data, has said it is going to be released. Let's see if that hopefully comes to fruition because it'll give the Fed more data to parse through for their October 29th meeting. That is right. In 1 week from tomorrow, we will have another Fed meeting. Now, we are, of course, expecting a 25 basis point rate cut, but we'll have to wait and see. I think the commentary coming out of this meeting and the commentary from Fed Chair Jerome Powell should be pretty interesting given the lack of data the Fed's really had to parse through due to the aforementioned government shutdown. Now at 3 p.m., just a little bit of housekeeping here, 3 p.m. Eastern, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent will be speaking, followed closely by Fed's Waller at 3:30 p.m. So a little bit of speak later in the day. Not too much right now, though. Back to you. Make sure to like and subscribe.
It's not bad. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. It's kind of like us, like a little bit like a crossover type of thing here. But anyways, yeah, I don't know if I don't want to make it. I don't want to do something I'm not allowed to do here. But yeah, there it is. I think that's pretty decent looking car anyways for a Ford. It caught my eye there. And, you know, maybe as we buy American and everything like that, I mean, you can see what Ford's doing right now, and it seems like it wants to go up right there. What a good bounce off of the 50-period moving average. I mean, we did have that fire in the booth, and then now all the way to the upside. Shout out to my English friends there, fire in the booth, Charlie Sloth. Yeah, they had a fire at one of their suppliers, their aluminum, I believe, and they had to go through that, and that, you know, created a nice move to the downside right there, bouncing quite cleanly off of 1150. So, yeah, nice move there for Ford, and we'll see if it can, again, battle itself back to the upside there and take out this 13 and maybe give us an opportunity to sell. I'm still in some kind of Ford as well, so if we can sell it somewhere up here, I think that would be a reasonable opportunity for me to do that. Yeah, I almost bought, what's up, Sonny, there in the chat. Happy Diwali to everybody again. I bought gold today, actually. I just bought some right there on the dip while we threw to Adara. And then Oracle, I almost bought yesterday, but I said to Neil, like, I want to get less AI exposure because every single stock I own, I might as well be running that Moat ETF or whatever, some sort of a Mag 7 ETF, because like those are pretty much everything that I own in real quantities. I mean, obviously my biggest holding by far is the S&P 500. So, you know, that's something there. And then just now on gold, I bought the dip. So I'll have to double check what price we got, but I think it was around 378. But here's the move back up. Like, I just bought it literally 5 minutes ago when Adara was talking. So I put a little bit less than that, probably 378.50. So it doesn't matter. Silver, I just heard, or we heard before, I don't know if it's still true. It was tanking. Yeah, so down now 8%. And I heard before when it was tanking that it was its lowest drop since 2021 in one single day for silver. So wow. I'm going to go to Adara, but Adara, I also want to ask you if there was anything specifically on silver, but I do know you have another story. So what's up with Adara?
Yeah, I'll look here into silver news. I haven't seen anything, but as we discussed yesterday with Michael Dawson, the market recap show, Neil and myself, silver does tend to be pretty volatile. Apparently, it has to, I guess they're just retreating from record highs. When I look it up, that's all I see. If there's anything else, I'll let you guys know, but I haven't heard anything about it either for what it's worth. We'll talk here about CSX. This is CSX Corp. They actually reported earnings last week. Axios saying that this name could potentially be a takeover target, specifically from BNSF Railway. Now, BNSF Railway is a wholly owned subsidiary of Berkshire Hathaway. So this is a kind of a Berkshire-related catalyst. Basically, Axios' reasoning behind this is that apparently Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern have set November 14th as the shareholder dates for their potential merger. Now, should that merger go through and be approved, it does set the stage for more takeovers and deals in the sector. And again, Axios believing that CSX, specifically with BNSF as a buyer, is the most likely candidate here if we get more railway deals. Back to you.
Advantage of nobody else taking them is hot.
We'll have to see who's Thursday. Yeah, we were just talking. We have Tennessee. Oh, we already used the Colts. When did we use the Colts? I don't. Yeah,
remember. We okay. All of our. It's bad luck. The entries in our suicide pool that didn't have the Colts that could have used them got eliminated elsewhere. So it's like,
look at this. Look what I've started here with lunch. Now we have odds.
I swear to God, if we
now Gavin is now bookkeeping this, giving us the odds right now: 3-1 for tilapia. 10-1 for grilled chicken. I mean, I think you're probably
no.
Oh, there it is.
We'll call it up.
It's on the board right now.
You got to reverse those because the chicken is
more likely.
Yeah,
but
grilled chicken 3-1.
Hey Neil, I mean, this is why these are odds, man. You can take them. You take them if you like them. I mean, you might see some value.
No,
there.
You've got 10-1 on grilled chicken. You've got to take that.
That's great value. That's for sure.
Great value.
There it is. There, and then blackened. You're even going blackened now. I mean, just salmon itself could be 15-1, right? The beef strogie, 50-1. That's probably pretty good odds there. And then also with tacos. So there's probably odds for tacos, but is Fabian here? We got to make that a little bit
like
longer on the stats, on the amount of keys allowed.
What if we've had tacos, what, 3 times?
That's why I'm wondering about the taco call. I'm wondering about the taco.
I feel like maybe 3 or 4 times ever we've had tacos.
Yeah, taco odds, they're not great odds there for taco.
But maybe a little longer.
Okay, so we are going to do, oh shit. what's for lunch? I didn't even realize the time. Here we are doing
I thought that's why you did it.
No, I was like, oh, it's too, I was thinking to myself, oh, it's too early.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
just
gonna do
assumed
this
that's why you were
yet.
doing
And then
it.
all of a sudden I looked over, it's 10:57. Oh boy, well, you're having fun. All right, so nice move
Actually
upside
don't know
here.
what it is.
I was like, what am I even doing? Where am I? Okay, here we go. What is for lunch? So we have the odds up there right now. Oh God, something hit on that board.
Grilled
Something
chicken.
hit on that board.
Oh, please don't be tilapia. Like yesterday was the perfect day. The only thing that could ruin how great yesterday is tilapia.
What is on the menu is not something that is land bearing. We have garlic buttered salmon.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, hold on a second. We just got
fine.
some more shares here on the TQs, so I do have to manage this a little bit. Right now, let me put a bid out just really quickly. It's garlic buttered salmon with roasted seasoned veg and roasted potatoes, along with a juicy, tender chef salad. So shout out right there to our caterers. It seems like they're doing a good job there today. The salmon buttered, there it is. So we've never had, I think we actually, don't we normally have lemon, dill, we have the blackened salmon fish or tilapia or anything like that, but this is also garlic buttered salmon.
We've had salmon a bunch of times. I don't remember that specific.
I think this would be nice.
I think
there, we'll be fine with
Before we get out of here, I will say that the Jays game was great, but yesterday we got like the best news ever. And I won't get into too many deals, but a good friend of ours got very good news for his daughter. And
that's fantastic.
it was, I was saying like yesterday was like the best day in my life outside of my daughter being born and like my wedding day, just because.
So your third best day of your life.
Yeah, I was saying. Because, no, but like it's up there, and it wasn't about the Jays. It was about the news that we got from a good friend of ours and his 5-year-old daughter. So it was great. And the market, by the way, I know it's 10:59.
10:59.
I know, but the Nasdaq's right about to get to the highs, and I didn't take the break of 45 here, and I think I'm just gonna slap where's the fail button?
45. Oh, on Tesla.
Yeah, like I took it the first time and I didn't take it the second time. So I'm gonna see if I can't get picked up. Maybe it'll swipe back down and pick me up in front of you all. But Tesla has broken trend decisively, and I'm jumping into that. Well, I mean, we'll try to get into that long. So thank you so much, everybody, this morning. It's been a fun one, and the fact that the market is going green in about like a point or two is absolutely amazing.
We went back short in the TQs, but our stop is 108. So if it comes out, it comes out. Nothing we can do about it.
We get a super chat. But right before we go, 11 o'clock, just hit Control Alt Escape.
Let's do it.
Says we love SoFi.
There we go.
Go SoFi. Hold it forever.
SoFi, that's too bad. That's a frustrating one for me because it's all the way up right now, and we had the long and we dumped it. So there goes SoFi.
But is it golden?
Yeah, I don't know. It's going up. Soda pop.
I don't know the rest of the words. That's the only.
It's
part.
not that song, Sharif, but it's close to that. No, man. It's K-pop Demon Hunters, guys.
Yeah, you
focus.
guys don't know. They don't.
Guys, just focus.
They don't
over
have
there,
kids.
okay? Like
if you don't have
guys,
kids, you don't know. It's not.
If it was on the label of a creatine bottle, Joe would be all over that thing. But right there. So
not untrue.
All right, shut it. No, he talked about creatine yesterday. He said he's never giving it up. I don't want to offend these guys because sometimes Sharif, it's like I don't want to be. Okay, good. Yeah, we're just playing around. Okay, here we go, guys. I think sometimes maybe he is, but okay, here we go. Here's a nice move down on the TQs, man. We are right back to our day high on this on our account right now with this trade in the TQQs. It came right up, man. We put on way too many units. It's a nice move to the downside now, but I'm going to start to cover and throw it over to the guys, the most handsome team here.